Welcome, Chapter 31 of the Uten Slug campaign. So let's do a brief recap of last time. You guys had just escaped the mines of Ironslag into the Yakfolk village above it, fresh off the killing of the fire giant prince, the fresh prince of Ironslag. Yeah, there had been a
Whiny
pretty
runt.
loud alarm that had been raised, but and the fortress seemed to be pretty much in an uproar, but the Giants didn't seem to know where you guys were, and there were no immediate sounds of pursuit. So you guys had a minute or two to kind of catch your breath, and you kind of looked around, and you had that elevator that was going up and down in the Yakfolk village. You did a little bit of detective work and figured out how to disconnect that from the water wheel that was powering it, so that kind of stopped it dead between floors, which bought you probably a little bit more time. But you decided, yeah, now's a good time. We should probably get out of here. So you opened up the port, or raised up the portcullises, and made your way out of the village. Started heading down the pass. You had this kind of pre-planned rendezvous point where you were going to meet up with the rest of the slaves that you had freed earlier. And about half, well, this cave, we were going to meet in the cave of the what you assume to be the the hell is it called? Not the Sphinx. The brain dead with the three heads. Earth?
Oh, Hydra? No.
No, what the hell was it?
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Chimera?
Yes, thank you. The
Chimera,
Chimera.
right?
Brain dead there. Anyway,
What was
you
that?
assumed that that was its lair, and that's where you told the slave. It was pretty obvious to find about halfway down the pass. So you guys were making pretty good time. You were carrying some of the slaves that had come with you, and you were almost within sight of the cave itself when you spotted from below, rising from the misty depths of the forest, this huge white winged form, which you pretty much deduced, yeah, that's a white dragon. We gotta get going.
Fucking
You,
dragon.
yeah, you managed to beat it to the cave, and you got all the slaves safely inside the cave, and pretty much told them, "Yep, move to the back, move to the back, move to the back," and then turned to face this dragon. And the dragon was indeed the same one that you guys had run into previously at the lodge, not far from Citadel Adbar. Apparently, he'd been tracking you guys and hunting you. And he gloated to
Dang.
you that he made an excellent meal out of your sled dogs, which at that comment, Crack completely lost it and suicidally just like leapt to attack him. So you guys kind of had to back him up a little bit. And you did pretty well considering it was an adult white dragon, but he was really deadly. Between his fear aura, his breath weapon, massive damage on his attacks. You guys were taking some pretty serious damage from it. So things weren't looking really great, but then you guys noticed there was the form of a giant that was kind of creeping along the cliff right above the dragon. And it wasn't a fire giant, but an actual frost giant. And before the dragon could actually spot him there with a yell, he like launched himself right off of the cliff to try and smite the dragon. He had this massive sword. Unfortunately, it landed on his face, so it didn't actually
Yeah.
end up being that impressive. But, hey, points for trying. Yeah, he was pretty unfazed by that, picked himself right up and started wailing on him along with you guys. So combined with you guys and this frost giant, you finally managed to vanquish the dragon and kill him and start. Crack, I think, just spent like rounds kicking him his carcass.
Yeah.
The giant, he introduced himself as Harshnag, which is a name that you guys had heard before. Apparently, at one point, he was a member of the famous Force Grey adventuring party out of Waterdeep, but he hadn't been seen really by anyone for quite a while, and various others, had actually recommended that you seek him out because he was known to be friendly to the small folk, as non-giants are referred to. But he in particular had been actually recruited by the Harpers to locate you guys after the Harpers became aware of the teleportation mishap. For some mysterious reason, they weren't able to locate you guys by magical means, so they went the old-fashioned route and hired Harshnag to essentially go find you. So he did, and he tracked you all the way to Citadel Adbar and on from there, and finally traced you to Ironslag. He said that the dragon had actually been lying because he actually encountered Zog along with the sled dogs, which Crack was extremely relieved to hear. And he kind of shuffled him away to a more secure hiding spot because he had seen this dragon circling around. So he essentially kind of followed the dragon, or at least followed your tracks and assumed that the dragon was heading in the same place. So yeah, he came in the nick of time, and he had actually been looking for you, and he wanted you guys to film. Once you filled him in on what you guys had been doing there and what you had done in Ironslag, he kind of shook his head and said, "Yeah, you killed the prince." Basically, Zaltember is the only son of Duke Zalto, who is the leader of all the fire giants in the north. And he figures, yeah, they're probably not going to let up their quest for vengeance until their bloodlust has been sated for that one. So he definitely recommends that, you guys shouldn't leave by, going down the rest of the pass, because obviously those big doors are probably going to have a bunch of giants running out of it. Plus, you've probably got more coming up the stairs through the Yakpo Gulch from above. And being as the only other way out is a cliff, he doesn't fancy your chances, especially with a whole bunch of 30 plus slaves in tow. But the Harpers did give him a magical piece of chalk, which apparently had been keyed to your biorhythms in some way magically. And anyway, they said that if you would use this piece of chalk to draw a circle on the floor, it would actually open a teleportation circle leading you directly back to the one in Moongleam Tower in Everland. So he recommends that, you guys do that, take the slaves with you, and he would remain behind and distract the pursuing fire giants long enough to let you make your escape, as well as to hopefully prevent any kind of suspicion from falling on either you or the dwarves of Citadel Adbar. You guys had actually not really left much of evidence in terms of who you were, really just crossbow bolts and human-sized footprints, which don't say much.
Crossbow bolts that said, "If found, return to."
Yeah, exactly, right. So, so that was his suggestion to you, which you said, yeah, that's pretty much a good idea, because then you can essentially disappear from the scene without arousing suspicion. But before he went, he said that he was very interested in your quest to investigate what had led to the shattering of the Ordning and how to possibly deal with the whole chaos that's risen amongst all the giants. He said he had a few ideas, but obviously didn't have time to discuss them at that exact moment. Plus, he needed to do a little bit more investigation first. So he asked if you guys would meet up with him in Xantharl's Keep in 2 10 days' time, which is basically 20 days. Each week in the realms is 10 days. They call it a 10-day. So then you could meet up with him there. Once you got there, you would inquire at him after him at the local inn, and he could arrange to meet you outside of town, since obviously frost giants aren't really exactly welcome just to bum around most villages. So, but yeah, 2 10 days he would meet you there, and then you could go from there in terms of possibly following up on some leads that he might have. But other than that, he took off and started to distract the giants, and you guys used the magic chalk to open the teleportation circle, and the teleportation magic fortunately worked this time and brought you back to Moongleam Tower. The Harpers there were extremely embarrassed and apologetic for the mishap of the teleportation circle. They did confirm that it had been.
Sorry about that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, they did say that it was the fault. The cloud giants that had infiltrated had indeed sabotaged it, so that was the reason it went wrong. But to compensate you guys for the inconvenience, and plus because you had successfully liberated so many slaves from the fire giants, they basically said that instead of you guys having to cart these slaves back yourself to Citadel Adbar, where the king had promised you a whole bunch of treasure for doing that, the Harpers would essentially extend to you that privilege and then take the slaves themselves to Citadel Adbar and get compensated for that way. So yeah, you guys said that sounded like a great idea. Helped yourself to some nifty magic items, and once you'd had a chance to recuperate, yeah, you can turn your attention to the next stage of your quest, which last I understood was to head towards the nearby city of Silvery Moon to the north. So I'm going to move you guys to that map, and you can discuss what you want to do. Now, keep in mind, I think I finally got the calendar working here. Let me just see if I can show this. If that shows up on the... No, it does not. Show to players does not work. Well, okay, today is Flame Rule the 11th. 10 days time from now would actually fall coincidentally on Midsummer, exactly. Which is
Midsommar.
Yeah, Midsommar, exactly. Yeah,
Midsommar.
gonna find a nice cliff for you to jump off.
There you go.
Yeah, that's actually the day between Flame Rule and the first of the next month, which is Eliasis, I believe it's pronounced. But anyway, just looking at the map and travel times, basically you guys, and moving at a normal pace, you go about 24 miles a day. Everland to Silvery Moon is about 43 miles, so a little less than 2 days travel there. But then it's a question of you would have still 18 days, but it depends on how you'd want to eventually get to Xantharl's Keep, which is to the northwest, south of Mirabar.
Yeah.
Traveling there on foot, that's about 350 miles. So there you're looking at about 18 days. So you'd kind of have to go straight there if you were
Leave
going
now.
So the closest portal is well, in Silvery Moon is not even in the network. So
yeah, we're kind of glossing over that fact because that had actually been where you were thinking you were going.
That's where we're talking about going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that actually wasn't part of the network. So I
Right.
kind of retconned that to think that they thought it was,
So
or it was at one point.
So
And
the closest network node to Xantharl's Keep would be Mirabar, and then
Yeah.
it would be a due south walk from there on a main road. So
yeah,
Sorry,
Mirabar
where is that?
is it's to the
left
northwest
of where we are.
Oh,
of
way
Xantharl's.
down.
The closest node to Xantharl's Keep is Mirabar.
which is south of it, yeah.
Yeah,
I see.
that's about 2.5 days travel from Mirabar to Xantharl's Keep.
Really?
And so we did retcon to say that Silvery Moon was also in the network.
No,
Or not.
it's
It's not
yeah. I'm going to
Okay.
say that perhaps it was, and the sabotage by the
something happened.
Cloud Giants.
Okay.
You
All
took
right,
it out of
where's the
network.
nearest node portal to us right now?
That
Well, right
would
now you're in
be-
Everland. That's where the
Everland is the closest, so we could maybe do a quick jaunt to Silvery Moon, back, and then teleport to Mirabar.
We were supposed to go to Zymorvan Hall as well. But we don't have to, I'm just saying.
Well, you guys had a couple of leads that you had been intending, at least from what I understood, to follow up on. There was, Zymorvan Hall. When you guys were in Tribor, how do you say her name? Urgala Meltimer. She gave you guys a lead that there might be a giant slaying rapier that was owned by a wealthy knight named Marthos Zymorvan. Last time she spoke with him, he was living in Zymorvan Hall, and that was in his ancestral keep, and that was just that was a bit a ways from Zymorvan, from Silvery Moon, about the same distance, maybe about closer to exactly 2 days travel from Silvery Moon.
A giant raper.
I feel like you didn't pronounce that right, but
Yeah.
Yeah, there may
You
have been a
put the
little bit.
emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Your other lead
What's it shaped
was
like?
also from someone in Tribor, Othavir. He was the one that had the harness shop. He shared with you that there was a stash of magical items near Silvery Moon that his estranged kin, the Marjester family, kept locked away for emergencies. Othavir apparently had some history with the Marjester family, but he despises them for reasons he didn't really discuss. But apparently they own a 3-story tower just outside of Silvery Moon that has a detached carriage house on the property, and that inside the carriage, inside that carriage house, was these magical items. That basically it's right outside of Silvery Moon. And for Silvery Moon itself, now Kyle, I believe you said, didn't you hail from Silvery Moon?
Yeah, I lived in Silvery Moon for most of my life.
Okay, so you would know pretty much about it without even having to go there. Basically, to describe it to the rest of you guys, and Groot and some of your others that have traveled extensively would probably know this too. But it's like kind of like if Rivendell was a really laid back college town. That's about the best description I can think of for it. There's elven arboreal architecture. The buildings are not like stone, but actually like made out of living trees, and there's a lot of libraries. It's very cosmopolitan. They pretty much allow any non-evil race to live there. So very egalitarian. Huge libraries, a lot of magic, which is actually interesting because they have what's called a mythal. Essentially, it's an anti-magic field that prevents casting certain types of spells while you're in the city of Silvery Moon. Basically, no invisibility, teleportation, or fire-based spells work. Scry targets can always see a sensor. The weather is always clear and sunny. And also, any orcs, drow, or dragons are compelled to leave when they're under the effect of this mythal. So it's they also have a great kind of a wonder of the world type thing called the Moon Bridge, which spans this massive river. It actually can be magically withdrawn by the will of the elders of Silvery Moon. So, so that's what you guys know about Silvery Moon itself. You don't really have any leads.
I think we should go.
You don't really have any leads about the city itself, besides, again, obviously, Samuel's connection from growing up there.
Okay.
So that's kind of where you are, how much time it'll take to get to the various locations. So I guess you can kind of make your plans accordingly based on that.
What is it? 2 days travel to Silvery Moon?
Let's see, be about 2 days to travel from Everland to Silvery Moon.
And then from Silvery Moon to Zymorvan Hall, it's at about the same distance, maybe a little bit farther?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's traveling on the road, obviously, which is a little bit easier than overland.
I don't suppose there's a portal in River Moot
Nope.
No.
or Mithril Hall.
The actual teleportation destinations are in a handout if you search inner circles. It
Inner
actually
circle.
lists-
People's places and things.
You'd be under.
Let's see.
If you
It's
just
under
type
handouts.
Players. Yeah,
It's under
players.
chapter 3.
Yeah,
Chapter
there
Oh,
it
there.
is. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got Yarder, you've got Everland, Mirabar.
There's not a ton.
Yeah, most of it's
Right.
and the circles on this diagram are kind of roughly in the direction that they are from each other, and obviously
Right,
not to
right.
scale distance wise, but
Yeah, it's a ways to.
The other thing, I guess, Samuel, if you want to make an intuition check. That's not an intuition check, but
Or
what am I thinking of? The 5e equivalent of it.
Insight?
Perception? Insight?
Yeah, insight. Thank you, is what I was thinking of. An insight check.
oh, not bad.
Yeah, you actually remember having heard growing up in Silvery Moon that off to the east of Silvery Moon, there's another town called Hawk's Nest. where you've heard rumors that there is the Lord Cavalos. He actually raises hippogriffs that are trained as mounts, and they generally get used to patrol the trade road between Silvery Moon and Sundabar. And while he's not in the habit of giving free rides to strangers, but he might be persuaded to let you guys use his mounts if you maybe came to him with your story about what you're doing, and you. The Giants
Sir,
have been
I'd
causing
like
lots
to
of
mount your griffins.
yeah. Get out!
Get out.
Close the door.
Yeah, and from what you know about hippogriffs, they generally would have they have a speed of 60, fly speed of 60. So you essentially would have your time traveling any distance with them.
Well, I was going to actually say, would it be faster for us to take a boat up to Silvery Moon and Zemorvan Hall? Because they're both along the Robin River.
It's a good question, actually. Hang on. What is a barge travel time? I'm trying to think. First of all, the way the topography is, I think that downstream would be from Everland to Silvery Moon, because it generally looks like it's hard to tell. I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
because obviously north and south doesn't matter. It looks like it's flowing from the Nether Mountains.
Right.
The Robin River looks like it flows from there. So,
It looks like it eventually goes out to sea at the Desserin River in Waterdeep.
Right.
Like they're all connected.
way down there, exactly. So I think that would be downstream. Let me see if I can look up overland travel. I'm not sure going by boat is that much faster.
I'm gonna let Jack out. I'll be back.
Oh, come on. You have to search so literally. Movement, okay. Mounts and vehicles. Land vehicles use a place of normal. All right, it's not giving me. Yeah, I think the speed is generally about the same.
Okay.
If it's a sailing ship, it's a river, so it'd probably be more like a barge
Yeah.
anyway. Small boats look like they have normal speed of like 30, so. Yeah, it doesn't look like that would really speed you up much.
No cigarette boats available.
Nope. And mounts wouldn't also save you time like normal. If you were carrying stuff around, or if you needed to get away from somewhere quick, they can definitely move. Like a horse can move fast when you want to have it run, but it can really only do that for an hour, and then you have to let it rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, its movement speed is.
Yeah, let's just walk. It's 2 days, whatever. 2 days up there, 2 days to the Morven place. 4 days back.
Still gives us plenty of time to teleport to Mirabar.
Yep, and then that's 4 days down there, so that's
2 days. I thought it was 2 days to Xanatharl's Keep, or did I hear that wrong?
From Mirabar?
From Mirabar.
looks longer.
It would be about 2.5 days travel.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we're at 6.5 days. So that gives us a number of days to actually
Mess about.
Yeah. Make some chaos.
Did you guys do excel? at?
Us? No.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys want to travel on foot, I mean, if you want mounts, I mean, the Harpers will provide you with some.
Nah. I don't know.
Otherwise, yeah, walking isn't going to take much longer at all. So they will outfit you with any provisions. You pretty much don't need to worry about rations or anything like that. Any specialized equipment that you might want, you're free to ask for if it's something that's readily available. Otherwise,
Well, we have thieves' tools now. I took some before.
I was going to ask about. I seem to remember that coming up.
Yep, I wrote.
Yep,
I have
I
that
also
on my.
have thieves' tools.
Nice.
I can't remember.
I mean, I
none,
have-
none of you guys are actually proficient in them, so it'd be basically just a dex check if I'm not
Right.
mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Would it be sleight of hand or dex?
Thieves' tools, I believe, would just be a straight up dex check if you're not proficient in them, which some classes give you proficiency in them, others do not.
Yeah, same bonus for me.
I have a +7 to sleight of hand.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Only
I
a
have
4 for dex.
I have a 3 for both.
I got a rock.
And a spiritual hammer.
Spiritual Mac.
Yeah,
Spiritual
but you
Mac 10.
you could make a hammer.
Yeah.
So, if there's nothing else that you need, you guys are free to set off. And again,
Yeah.
today is Flame Rule the 11th. I'm going to try and keep track, even though it's not displaying the calendar when I tell it to. At least I can advance the days. So first day, I think probably what I will do is just have everybody roll for the just shy of 2 days travel, and we'll see what we get. Just roll a d20, and we'll see if you guys encounter anything en route.
Oh boy.
One
What's
at a
roll 20
time?
gonna do to me this week? Brrr. Oh God.
There you go. You win.
First roll. First roll.
Oh
Go,
my
Don.
God.
Don wins. Yay.
Oh yeah. Woohoo.
Way
Okay.
to go, man.
Wow.
That's awesome.
72 fire giants. They have found us. They traced the email address on our
Yeah.
crossbow bolt, and now
They
they're
followed
coming.
us.
We
Kill
get
us.
outside the town gates and
Yeah. You shump.
So Don, can you give me a percentile roll, please?
Sure.
Yeah, watch him roll 100.
Shut up.
that's
Oh, there we
6.
go.
Oh, that could be bad.
Let's see.
5 angry squirrels.
Rabid.
want your nuts.
Roll
Oh,
initiative.
interesting. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are riding along, or walking along, I should say. You're not riding. And this is not really that far outside of Everland. It's like maybe there.
Shit.
Right outside the city gate.
We get struck by 6 bolts of lightning.
They just start sweating.
Yeah.
You're walking along and you see a horse riding down the road towards you at like top speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a single horse. He kind of has come around a bend in the road. He's moving
No
all
rider?
out. What's that?
With a rider or no?
As it draws closer, yeah, you can see there's a rider on there,
Ah,
and you actually, as he draws near, it looks like he's kind of bloodied, and you see actually there's a gash along the leg of the horse, causing it to kind of run with a bit of
Right.
a limp, but nevertheless, he is moving it all out at all speed. And you kind of have to jump to the side. You'll have to jump to the side to avoid getting run down by this guy. It doesn't look like he's aiming for you. It just looks like he is
Right.
moving on.
Getting the hell out.
Exactly, just
Getting the
moving as
hell
fast as he
out
can.
of- away from
Do
something.
we recognize the clothing or the armor that the rider is wearing as, or do we get enough of a glimpse to see if we might recognize what group that he's from?
If you want to make a perception check, it looks like the garments he's wearing are kind of tattered, like he was in a fight or something. Nice. You do not spot any insignia on him, but it looks like he was at one point dressed in rather fine clothing. But you notice that he has a lot of dirt and dust on it, and there are blood stains on it and tears. So it looks like he was in a scrape quite recently. And he has a look of terror.
What's Serendial gonna yell?
Hey, buddy, what's
to
going?
him?
Where you having? Where you going?
Pardon me, good sir. Do you need help?
He keeps on riding, and he kind of shouts over his shoulder, "Get the fuck off the road if I were you." Keeps on going.
Okay.
I'm gonna step to the side.
Let's walk on the side of the road.
Yeah. So, are there like on the side of the road? Is there like cover or partial cover that we could snuggle down in and see what's coming, maybe? Or
Yeah. See, to the west is the river itself, and the road. It would be raised a bit from the river. I mean, there's generally enough of a hill. It's not immediately
Right.
running next to the road. It's a ways down, but
Right.
the ground kind of slopes downward, and there's you could probably walk down there and stay out of sight of the road, but you would not be able to see what is on the road.
what's
What's
coming?
there.
Yeah.
I take a walk on the wild side.
Yeah, I guess. And with that perception roll, you can hear in the distance the sound like a distant rumble. Like there are multiple
Okay. Things coming.
things coming, and it sounds like it might be many horses coming.
Jeez. All right. I think,
Is there vegetation we can hide behind?
Yeah, there's enough tall vegetation that you could attempt to take cover if you wished.
All right.
let's do that.
Let's hide
Let's
in the
do that.
vegetation.
It's too early.
Okay, so you guys get down into the tall grass. Why don't all of you give me a stealth check? And you definitely hear the sound of at least a dozen horses approaching down the road at top speed. Wow. And my internet's crapping out on me again. Skype is anyway. I'm going to go with the assumption that you can hear me, and I will check this out. Baldry, I just noticed what your role was. Oh, come on, Skype. I'm getting like just little tiny bits and pieces here. Hang on, let me disconnect and try and reconnect again, see if it pops in.
Oh, mix join.
Check.
All right. Yep, I can hear you. I lost Paul T, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There's
Okay.
Paul.
I'm here. I just turned off my camera. for a
Okay.
second.
All right, cool. I don't know. It was Skype being Skype. Anyway,
Yes. Monitor on my Skype screen now.
so yeah, Valdry, I see you rolled a 1 on your stealth.
Yeah.
You rocked that.
Like I said, tripped over my own feet, twisted my ankle, spilled all my shit. Running out. What happened? Shit.
Okay, so yeah, what happens is you see a dozen horses moving out along this road, and 12. All the horses they have riders on them. Looks like they're wearing cloaks, and They definitely look
Sky-
armed.
Skies?
What's that?
Big skies?
You can see they have. Oh, come on. What do they got on them?
They look like the
Oh, I was looking at the riding horse. They're armed with hooves. Yeah, they
Jews
have
from,
scimitar. It looks like
Lord
they
of
have
the Rings.
scimitars and crossbows. Can't really tell what kind of race they are, but they're moving along. And Valdry, unfortunately, was kind of like just like peeking over, and unfortunately, he fell over and with a big clang landed on a rock. And a couple of the riders kind of pull up and look over and spot him. And so they give a signal, like a really shrill whistle, and the team kind of circles around and starts riding over in your direction.
Okay. I'm gonna clamber up, and I said, oh, thank the gods, travelers. I was just kicked off the road by some crazed maniac riding on a horse somewhere. He left me for dead. Thank God you're here.
Okay, one of the riders rides up right to you. He doesn't get off his horse, but he says, as he gets closer, you can tell that he is actually human. And he kind of looks down at you, and then he sees the rest of you guys too, and you can see him kind of mentally counting how many of you there are versus how many of them there are.
Shit.
And
I flip him off.
We don't even know if they're bad or good.
Yeah, that's right. I'm working an angle here, man. Let me try.
That's you keep doing that. I'm just gonna when he looks at me, I'm just gonna be flipping him off. I'm not gonna say anything.
okay, he says,
Of course, that means hello in
Yes.
this native land.
Or you're married in their native custom.
Right.
Well, now we are.
he says, where is the rider?
I said he was going so fast. It looked like he was headed. And I kind of gesticulate wildly in some direction, kind of sort of where we came from, but not exactly. I'm playing up the I've fallen, I've hit my head, I've fallen, and I can't get up, and kind of stuff. Scared. What happened? Where am I? How did I get here?
And let's see. Make a deception check.
Oh, well. What's gonna happen? At least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah, not terrible.
Okay, so he says, so he continued down the road. What relationship
yeah,
did you have with him?
None. He just appeared out of nowhere and ran me down, and I ended up down in here.
He looks at.
I'd never seen that horse or that person. I think it was a person. They went by so fast I couldn't even tell.
So you see him kind of doing some more mental math, and he says, "All right, we'll let you go. You just need to give us everything you have."
The fuck?
I'm gonna flip him
He
off
talking
with both
to
hands
me
now.
or to the party entirely?
Well, he was looking at you when he said it, but he also looked over at Samuel too.
Both hands now. Both hands.
How many of them are there? A dozen?
Yeah, plus this guy
Nothing.
who looks like he's maybe a captain or something.
You could take him.
I look over at.
And now they've pretty much all kind of pulled their crossbows out, and You can tell that.
I say, well, fellas, let's give them everything we have.
Yeah, let's give him every. So I fire off Sacred Flame
Okay.
at the lead guy. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is going down.
All right. Let me
You
see
don't know
here.
who you just picked a fight with.
Let's roll for initiative.
Yeah, let me. I don't have anything set up for this. This is just a random encounter, but I'm just going to move us over to here and.
Sure.
Okay, give me a second to get this set up.
You want us to roll initiative or wait?
You can roll initiative, sure. Actually, let me pull the
Well,
initiative.
wait until he's got the
tracker up.
initiative
Here we go.
counter up.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so what do we got here?
Everything they got. God.
I'm not going to
I have
get
a
the
plus
horses.
5.
Oh, come on.
God damn it.
Come on, roll 20. You can do this.
I have the best bonus to initiative out of all of us. What the hell?
What the? Yeah. That was almost as great a roll as mine.
All right, this will be fun. Does my group initiative macro work? Wow, it did. Awesome. Hey, look at that. Yay. That saved a lot of time.
Nice.
Okay, did everybody get their
Yep.
Yeah.
stuff in place? Then I will sort descending, and looks like Mirror's the one that gets to go first. So these guys are all mounted right now. They have crossbows drawn and ready, so
What are they technically?
they're humans.
I don't know. I just meant, are they raiders? Are they?
Yeah, what are they wearing?
Brigands?
Cloaks.
Do they look?
They look like they're
Not in like.
they're not in
battle
uniform or
armor
anything like that. They look like
Yeah,
kind of a
okay.
motley assortment of clothing. They're not wearing
Oh, okay.
insignia or
So
anything.
it's not like a band of. I mean, they don't have common armor or anything like that.
They're wearing cloaks, so it's difficult to say for sure. But it looks
Hard
like they
to
might
tell.
be wearing like leather armor.
Yeah.
They're a band on the run.
Right.
Exactly.
They're all
Well, more than likely they were accosting this guy, so who was very well dressed. You said.
at one point.
I'm
yes.
going to use my bonus action and make. Is that the leader guy there?
Oh, it's the one who was talking to you guys.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to make him my hunter's mark. And I'm going to ready an action to shoot an arrow once he is injured by one of my compatriots.
All right. Okay, so now we get a bunch of bandits get to go. Well, that's what they are. I just said that they are, so it was pretty obvious. So they're going to fire crossbows. We'll just say first guy, he fires at you, Mirror,
All right.
and misses. They just
Yay.
get one attack, so that's his round. And he dismounts from his horse. Another guy off on the right fires at Serendiel.
No,
You can't do that.
Non-natural 20, which I'm assuming hits you for 4 piercing damage.
I drop.
Jeez.
Oh, I forgot to
Got it.
level up since
My
level 1.
lowly
Oh,
leather underwear
that was good.
Another one on the right goes for Groot with a crossbow. 17. That hits? Okay.
Yep.
3 piercing. Sorry, it's whispering all these rolls, so
I drop.
yeah.
It's not as funny the second time.
Sorry.
I thought it was.
Another attack on Serendiel, 16.
Yeah, I don't have any special thing up at the moment.
Okay,
So, yep.
so 3 more piercing from that. We've got a guy on the left, goes, shoots at Samuel. 21.
Yep.
7 piercing.
Yeah. Nice.
One might
Yeah,
almost
that
call
one
that
up, dude.
karma, if one were so inclined. Another guy on the left, he shoots at Serendial again. Well,
It's not bad.
first time for him, but
All right.
18 hits for 3 piercing.
Okay.
Another one on the left shoots at Serendial. Apparently they
Jesus.
think you're the threat, Serendial.
Yeah.
But that one misses. And
It looks pretty badass.
one on the left fires.
Welcome to my world.
Uh,
It's usually me.
Another shot at
Yeah.
you, Samuel. 15.
That feels better.
15 probably.
I have 17 AC.
Yeah, okay,
so
yeah.
no.
So that one deflects off your armor. So finally, after all those guys go, Baldry gets to go. That was actually just their normal. I actually did roll initiative for all of them, so just a whole bunch of them
All
happened to
right,
go at once.
Yeah.
So I am going to target Mr. Leader Dude, who honked me off.
Dude.
Leader Dude, and try to hit him with Sacred Flame.
Okay. He's wearing studded leather. Oh wait, this is a deck save. Never mind.
Yep.
He does get a deck save. He got a 19.
Asshole.
Is that a cantrip or is that half damage?
That is a cantrip.
Okay. So he kind of dodges out of the way. Well, it's not his turn, so he doesn't get to jump off his horse yet. He actually does not have a crossbow, interestingly. You can, if you want, you could take a move.
So are we still down below them?
Yeah, it's not really like any kind of AC advantage or anything at this point. You're just on a
No, I'm just
incline.
Yeah. So yeah, I will climb up, and I'll let's see, distance wise. 20. Yeah, I'll get close to this looking bandit guy over here, but I'll climb up off, and so I'm on the level road area now.
Okay. Then we're up to Groot.
Snake.
All right.
Snake.
I'm going to walk up here. I'm going to throw down my Staff of the Python. Oh, it's small. Not small. Needs to be 10 by 10 by 10. There you go. And then I do that. And then I also, as a bonus action, do that.
Okay.
So the staff can go, but Groot can't. So the staff will go.
All right. His horse kind of freaks out, so he's going to need to make an animal handling check, which would basically for him be a straight up whiz check. Yeah. He actually gets bucked off of his horse, and he lands prone.
Yeah.
Well, I still can attack him. So.
Yes, I'm just saying you now get, if that matters at all, he is prone.
But doesn't he get a bonus to his AC when he's prone?
Only against ranged attacks, I believe. If you're attacking him via melee, that's actually...
Advantage, I thought.
It's advantage if
Yes,
he's...
I believe he is... You get
So a
advantage.
16 and a 25.
Nice.
Okay, both would hit.
Okay, so bite does 14 piercing, and the constrict does 18 bludgeoning, and
Nice.
he's grappled.
And I bet he's dead.
That triggers my action.
Yep.
Okay. Do that first. And then 27.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 12, though,
Shoot,
isn't
shoot,
it?
shoot, 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 shoot.
I thought you get a 12 because he's prone.
Yeah, actually, you would be at disadvantage because he's prone.
Yeah, he'd be at disadvantage.
Well, he's constricted now? I picked him up and squoze him.
You've constricted him. You've not picked him up. He is grappled, but he
Okay.
is still prone.
Okay.
So 12, unfortunately, you hit his armor, but does not damage him on that attack. Which actually,
Okay.
since it was a ready to action, that would be your only attack.
Ah. Yeah, I'm not going to use my. Yeah, because I didn't roll too well there. I'm going to not use my inspiration on that.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of have to
So
do
it's
that
like
before
too
rolling the
many-
damage
too many
anyway.
ones.
You can do it. You can use your inspiration right after the die roll, but if you've already rolled damage and everything, then it's
Oh, right.
anyway. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so one lone bandit off to the left. He freaks out and no more random targeting. They're gonna go after these snakes. I guess it's random as to which snake. Groot. He fires his crossbow at you. In snake form, 10 probably, even though the snake's big, wouldn't hit.
Yeah, let's miss.
Okay, Sorrendiel, you're up.
All right.
Got a lot of arrows sticking out of you.
Fireball, fireball.
I start a blade song and then I come around here. And I'm going to shoot down the line to get all three of these in a
Nice.
lightning bolt.
Which three?
This guy, this guy, this guy.
Okay. Dex
So I can shoot
save.
down that line. And let's see. Zap!
Nice.
DC.
DC 15 dex. They take 36 or 18 if they make their save.
Whack, whack, whack.
And I get an Oh, go ahead.
That's okay. Let me do the math here. So first
Yep.
two guys failed, which means that the first guy in line is flat out dead, as is the second guy flat out dead. Your lightning bolt basically just blows them up. Even at, let's see, that would be 18 points. Yeah, even at making a save, the third guy also blows up. So it's like boom, boom, boom.
All right, and then I get an extra attack, which I will take as a cantrip. So I'm going to firebolt this guy. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
DC 15
that's a
Constitution
frostbite.
save.
I thought you said firebolt.
Oh, I thought I said firebolt too. Did I click the right thing? I did. So a 9, it would be a miss.
Yep. Glances off his armor.
Should've went with
And
the
actually, that would be
frostbite.
disadvantage. Well, you rolled the lower one anyway. Okay, but yeah, that lightning bolt was impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We've got, well, the next bandit to go is now blown up. So,
Blow it up,
Sir.
sir.
come on, get out the initiative. You're dead. Get out of the initiative.
Get out of here.
Jesus, it took like 12 clicks to get him out of there. Samuel, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna flip him off with one hand and swing my rapier of wounding at him with the other.
Ooh.
Oh, I got 24.
Yeah, the
I forgot to
24
roll with
definitely hits.
advantage. So 12 points of damage, and he gets the necrotic damage at the start of his turn.
Nice.
Okay, where is
1d4.
is that the 12?
That's the 12 is just the regular damage of the rapier.
Okay, let me just see. What return? You can wound the target. 1d4. Okay, this will be fun. Okay, so
And it keeps stacking if he doesn't like get it clear.
all right. So remind me on
It
his
says-
turn that he needs to take
Yeah.
your damage, and he'll need to make a con save then.
Isn't he next?
No.
Yeah, he actually is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
So
Yeah, there's
at the start of each of his turns. So yes, go ahead and roll your d4 for additional damage for the wounding.
The wounding.
So two
Two more damage.
and he gets to do a con save DC 15, I believe.
Yep.
To see if he becomes that. He's not proficient in that. He did not make it, so next round we'll continue.
Takes another one. Nice.
Perfect.
All right, so he is grappled, but he can still attack. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, that wouldn't do anything. So he's just going to. Who was the one that constricted him? Was that whoever it was? Was that you, Groot, or was that
That was the left
It
one.
was the
the
staff.
staff? Okay. He's going to attack the. Well, let me just see. Let me make a check here. See how smart he is. He is going to. He thinks that you're basically kind of in control of this other snake because he saw you throw the staff down and turn into a snake. And then he saw you turn into a snake. So he kind of thinks that you're like the master of snakes. So he's going to attack you a few times with his scimitar. He gets
Snake master.
3 attacks. Oh, no.
You snake whisperer.
Yeah, 2 attacks with a scimitar and once with a dagger. So scimitar, he drops his scimitar. And I'm going to rule that because he's grappled, he can't roll over and get it. He really made a bad life choice today.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
He
Well,
does
did
still
ask
get an
for
attack
everything
with his
we've got.
dagger, though. So big whoop there. 13. I don't know. Does that hit you in snake form?
Yep.
Okay, he actually does do 6 piercing with his dagger. But that's all he can do. So now we got a shitload more bandits here. Let's see. Valdry, the bandit closest to you, he still has his crossbow out, so he's going to fire at you with that. 16?
Nope.
Okay. Paying off the armor. One of the bandits on the back rank to the right fires at Groot in snake form. A 9 misses. And we're back to Mirror.
All right, I'm gonna try again on that leader guy. So is he not prone anymore?
He is still prone.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, because Groot hasn't moved him yet? I take it?
Well, he would have to do an actual action to move him.
Right. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go after this guy. See that?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you switching your hunter's mark, or are you actually just...
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna do 2 attacks on him. If I hit him with the first one, I'll do the Colossus Slayer, but I'm not gonna change my hunters. And I don't think I can until they die. Is what I think. If they die, then I can change it. What I roll?
12.
12? Probably not.
12 is actually exactly what you need.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right. Thunk. Arrow goes right through his head, and he falls over dead.
Okay. And my
Take it.
second attack, I'll target this guy. Straight line.
Okay. 16 also hits.
10.
Okay, you nail him right in the chest, and he kind of staggers but doesn't fall over. But he looks like his face turns blood, or actually not blood red, but drains of all blood.
Ashen.
And he's like, oh, oh, oh. But he's still on his feet.
Right. Nice.
All right.
I'm not gonna move. I'm done.
Okay. All right, so we've got more bandits going here, a whole slew of them. So again, they're focusing mostly on the snake. First one, far right, he targets the staff snake with his crossbow and misses. The one right next to the guy with 1 hit point left, who just got shot by a mirror. He's going to fire back at mirror with his crossbow.
Okay.
13 probably doesn't do much.
No, that misses.
Okay.
15.
Then the guy to the left of the one that mirror just, or to the right of the one that mirror just killed, he is going to fire at Groot. Ooh, yeah, natural 20. Does 13 points of piercing damage. The one on the far left that's still alive is going to fire at Valdry. 15 doesn't sound like that's enough. Twang. And the one to his immediate right, see, it's a 50-50 between Valdry and the snake. He's going to fire at the staff snake. 15. I'm sorry, excuse me, 16.
Yep.
All right, 8 piercing from that. And one more. The far right bandit, he's going to, well, he'd probably just fire at Groot. 15 to hit you in snake form.
Yep.
3 more piercing. All right, we're up to Valdry again.
Okay. Valdry is going to go right in between these 3 Jagoffs right there.
Okay.
And then do Word of Radiance, because it's a 5-foot action, and those 3 that I see will then have to make, so Word of Radiance. Bam.
Our divine word and burning radiance emits from you. It looks like a con save DC 14.
Yep.
They're all
Yep.
non-proficient, so it's just a con check. Okay, well, the guy furthest north of you, he made it. Going clockwise, the next one made it, and third guy failed. So the guy to the left of you failed, the other 2 made it. Is it an all or nothing, or?
Yeah, it's an all or not. It's all or nothing.
Okay, so the guy to your left, he takes 5 radiant damage. He looks a little singed, but is still on his feet. Right. Then we're up to Groot and his pet snake.
Okay, so we'll do the staff snake first on the big guy. 21.
Oh, yeah.
10 piercing. Constrict. 13 bludgeoning, so 23 total.
Okay. Yep, another one of those. And his eyes just basically kind of pop from the pressure.
Cool.
And he drops his rapier or scimitar.
Let's see, how far is this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to right there. As a bonus action, I am going to heal myself with roll. I get back 14, and then I'm going to bite and attack.
This guy?
Sure. Bite, miss, and a miss is my guess.
Yeah, it's basically couldn't bite through the leather armor. All right, that guy is dead, so Serendial's up.
Okay. I move at 50 as a walk, so I can get down here. Is it possible to get all 3 of these guys in a lightning bolt?
Which 3?
This guy, and this guy?
Well, move yourself where you're going to be and draw a line, and if it intersects.
All right. Let's see. I can roughly here, and it's 5-foot radius. So it's a 5-foot wide lightning bolt.
Yeah, I'd say that's close enough. You could get him.
All right. I will zap him again. Zot.
Okay, dex saves. Going closest to farthest. Fail. 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 Actually, and it doesn't matter again. Even if it makes it saves, these guys have low enough hit points that it just 3 more explosions. I'm thinking, what am I thinking of? I just watched District 9 again the other day for the first time in a long time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the alien weapons, when the guys like blow up, when they get hit by that like big lightning bolt that comes from that alien gun, and then just goes. That's pretty much what happens. These guys just splatter everywhere.
And then I'm gonna, let's see, this guy. I'm gonna do a firebolt. Gah!
Hey,
I'll take the 8.
Are you sure you don't want the
I'll
8?
take the inspiration.
I'll take the 8, Alex.
I'll take the 8 for sucking.
Just your inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the 8 for.
Okay, that's our end deal. Samuel, guys in front of you is dead that you flipped off. You
Alright.
didn't
Going
flip
over
off.
here. And I'm killing this one. I'm missing this one.
Okay. All right, Bandit Captain is dead. A lot of these guys are dead, but Voldry, the guy that's right next to you, he drops his, his crossbow
Crossbow.
and flourishes a scimitar and starts whacking at you with that. 10 though bounces easily off your armor.
Yep.
That guy is dead, so we're up to Mirror.
All right. I think those two over there are well in hand, and Veldry could use some help, so I'm going to target this guy.
All right.
Seeing my hunter's mark is dead, I will make him my hunter's mark. And shoot.
That
13?
Yep, that hits.
Okay. So 8, 14 total.
Thunk! He falls over dead.
All right.
Chunk.
I make this guy my hunter's mark now.
Oops. It's snapping to the ground. That's basically where he was.
So 13 plus 2, so 15 points.
And he falls over dead.
Nice.
And is that
And
it?
I'm done.
Okay.
Mhm.
Boy, ranks are getting thin. Okay, so Groot, the bandit to your immediate right, he drops his crossbow and starts whacking at the snake with a scimitar. 18, doing 6 slashing damage.
Dang.
All right, now the rest of these guys, let's see. He's dead. Come on, will you get out of this stupid turn order? Thank you. Okay, so the other bandit is, let's see. Samuel, you just came up and tried to hit him, so he's going to do the same thing to you.
Okay.
He got a crit. 7 slashing damage from a
Alright.
scimitar. Okay, Voldry, the one guy who survived around you, he's still up. He is going to do the same to you with his scimitar.
Okay.
Well, he's going to attack you, but 15, I think, still bounces right off that armor.
Yep.
So the other guy there is dead, and that guy is dead. So, Voldry, we're up to you.
Okay. Attack the guy in front of me with my warhammer. Jesus Christ. Wow.
There you go.
I didn't see it yet.
That's
Uh,
a 5.
Yeah, that won't do it.
refresh here.
Your connection
Yeah.
to the server has been interrupted.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Well, as a bonus action
There we go.
for shits
There we
and
go.
giggles. Bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, you have
Yeah.
drag access for that, right? To pull Mr.
Yes.
Hammer.
Wow, that didn't hit for shit either.
Nope. He manages to dodge out of the way.
Man,
Groot, you're up.
will suck tonight.
I will. I forgot about my snake. Is anybody left?
3 left.
3 left, so I can get to. So I'll move up here with the snake, and I'll attack the guy there.
That'll hit.
I'm guessing that's a hit. 6 piercing.
Okay. Still up.
And I drop my tail.
Yeah.
And then Groot will go, the one that is on his right. It'll hit 10 piercing. Does that kill him?
He's barely up.
Here.
And that's enough to hit him,
Constrict?
so that kills him. The constrict, you do the same
Okay.
thing. You actually just right up around his neck and choke him to death.
Nice.
And he is dead. I guess I can close the stat block for the bandit captain because he's not around anymore. Then we're up to Serendil.
Okay, I'm within 50 feet of any of them, so I'll run up to the one by Valdry, and I'm gonna.
Got to drink my aiming
uh,
fluid this morning before
up.
we left. Can't hit anything.
I pull out my rapier.
Ooh,
Nice.
21 hits.
7 piercing, and then I also get I get my extra attack, and because of my blade song, it can be a cantrip if I so desire. So I'm gonna.
He's dead. He had 6
he's
hit points.
Dead.
All right.
Sweet.
So if you've got
And
more
that's it.
movement,
Oh wait, I can still cantrip. So
Yep.
let me see if the range is to the other guy. Firebolt range is what?
120.
120, no problem.
yeah, technically you would have to be.
Except-
You're right now occupying the same space as the tactical Mac, so you'd kind of need.
Well, yeah, didn't we say the spiritual weapon doesn't occupy space? I thought we had.
Yeah, okay,
had a
that's fine.
discuss-
Yeah, technically that's.
I
Fine.
mean, otherwise I would just stand here and hit
That's
him.
fine. So I'm sorry,
okay,
you targeted which guy? I guess the only left
Firebolt
guy that's
the-
left.
The guy left.
Yes, that hits.
And 11.
Nice.
Nice! And the last guy finally succumbs to your firebolt and falls in a flaming pile.
Hey, we have horses now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sweet.
if you want them, you'd have to kind of do some animal handling to get them calmed down. But you killed all the bandits, and
2 each.
they did not really have much in the way of loot. It looks like they might have left it somewhere and chasing after that guy that now is long gone.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, they must have stashed it. They all have scimitars and light crossbows. So if you guys, none of you guys use crossbows, do you?
No, not really.
I might.
I have a hand crossbow.
I believe that uses a different ammo type than a light crossbow.
No, I have a longbow.
Well, if you wanted some light crossbow bolts, I'd let you roll like, I don't know, D100 to see how many you got.
I thought it was just crossbow bolts for all types of crossbows. Maybe I'm wrong.
A hand one's smaller, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that the bolt, it doesn't make much sense that you'd use the same bolt for a hand crossbow that you would for a full-size one. Typically, a
Right.
crossbow bolt is usually like that big, whereas most hand ones are almost like darts. But anyway, if you wanted to collect them and
Oh.
sell them, you could roll D100.
Let's see, see if I have a crossbow? Or not. I mean, I could take one.
Yeah, or you could, if you want one, you can take. They're not especially great, but they're not like in poor condition or anything either.
And only a hand crossbow can be used in. Is that still considered ranged, or is that a up close weapon?
No, hand crossbow's a ranged weapon.
Okay. Yeah, never mind then. I don't think I'm gonna take one. Have you got a bow?
Okay. I'm going to clear out the turns. So you guys have dealt with them. If you want the horses, like I said, you can take them. Otherwise, they'll just kind of wander off on their own.
Well, what do you think, guys?
It's up to you guys.
It's no faster. We don't have any feed for them or anything, so.
How
Yeah.
far away are we?
Not very far.
They,
No.
could
Well,
be,
to me, let's just take them into town and give them away.
they could be feed for us.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
No, let's take them. Yeah, let's take them. Yeah, we're not that far away, so why not?
Yeah, you would.
Horse.
You would. It would, like I said, the normal trip was just shy of 2 days. So you're close enough to Everland if you wanted to like take them. Well, you'd lose like maybe half a day.
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. That way, somebody gets a free horse. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So if you want to bring them back, you can lead them. You can calm them down enough eventually
Yeah.
to. I'm not going to make you roll for it. I would just say that
Some fine horses. Yeah, don't make me roll for God's
Well,
sakes.
Bring them back to the Harpers. Let them keep them.
So okay, if you want to bring them to Moongleam Tower, that would be fine too. Although you do have some explaining to do to the cards. Didn't I just see you leave and now you come back with a dozen horses?
Yeah.
We found
Yeah.
them on the side of the road.
They fell out of a truck. They fell out of the back of a carriage.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's some raised eyebrows, but yeah, they just
There's
ask what you're
13
wanting to do with
horses.
them, and if you say you're taking them to the Harpers, that's fine. They'll let you move on your way. It doesn't look like you're doing anything too suspicious with them. So you bring them to the Harpers, and they're just like, "Oh, where'd you get these?" I'm assuming you explain what happened, and
Yeah, some bandits thought they were tougher than us, and well,
They weren't.
here are
They
their
weren't,
horses.
All right. Well, they are very grateful for that. They certainly can put them to good use in the network. They'll probably need to kind of retrain them a bit, but yeah, that's awesome. So good deed chalked up for that, and you didn't even lose that much time since you were so close. So actually, Valdry, your 20 is actually pretty good timing. So you managed.
All right.
You're like I said, you were close enough to that you can just kind of set out again. You left early enough in the morning that you can pretty much make the rest of the way there. And I'm not going to have the rest of you guys roll because I don't really want to deal with random encounters. I mean, it's a road, and I thought, well, we'll give it a try and see what happens. But
Yeah, well.
so,
Fun.
yeah, it's fun to kick bandits' asses once in a while,
Yeah.
and that's enough of them that it's not just like a walk in the park. There were actually quite a few
Right.
of them. So you guys kind of make your way. At the end of the day, it gets you about halfway there. You make camp for the night. Yeah, actually, you know what? I will have you roll once more. Whoever, let's see. I guess
I'm not doing it.
I just rolled.
after Valdry,
Already.
Groot, why don't you make a
Well-
D20 roll and see if anything comes up during the night? Okay, so you're able to spend the night, rest up without any problem. So you take a long rest. In the morning, you continue on your way along the road, and by the end of the day, you are able to reach the Jewel of the North, as it's called, Silvery Moon. And I've already kind of given you a big description on that and hyped it up. But yeah, Samuel, it's been a while since you've been here, but you feel good. You don't sense
has.
really anything amiss. If anything, it's a little bit more relaxed than a lot of the other towns that you've gone through, because most of the other towns, generally have been either directly suffering from or are worried about giant attacks. But definitely Silvery Moon, due to all the magic protecting it and everything, enjoys a little bit more relaxed state, and you don't see any evidence.
Where's your house? Take us to your house.
Yeah, we're kicking at your place, didn't we tell you?
I want to rummage through your closet.
Well, you have no residence that I'm aware of, so It would be a house
My
that,
parents should be here somewhere.
if your parents live here, then they
Mom,
would, yes.
Dad.
Yeah.
I don't have
My
your
parents still
biographical
teach at the
details on
college.
your parents, so I'm kind of going off of what
Yeah.
you're describing. So you kind of tell us what the deal is with them.
Well, they teach at the college in town.
Okay. Yes,
So-
there is definitely a lot of organized tutelage going on in terms of magical instruction and everything. Despite the mythal that prevents certain types of magic, the other types, most of the other types of magic, obviously work just fine, and they can always go outside of town if they need to study other forms that are otherwise prohibited. So. They would still be in town, and if you wanted to look them up, you're free to do so.
I mean, I might say hi and have dinner, but nothing. I don't think it's important.
Okay, yeah, you
Meet
visit,
them
you
for
show off
anything.
your newfound friends. They're suitably impressed. I'm just gonna roll percentile chance. Nope, your folks aren't racist, so they don't comment on the lineage of any, embarrass you at the dinner table. But yeah, they say, well, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's generally two people living alone. It probably wouldn't be a big house, but they'd probably have some blankets that you guys could bed down for the night. It'd be a little bit cramped, but if you wanted to avoid having to go look for an inn or a place to stay, although Silvery Moon has got lots of them all over the place, so it's up to you guys.
I mean, I'm gonna stay with them.
I don't know. It seems a little weird that we'd all crash at their place.
Party at Samuel's, man.
I mean,
Uh,
my character probably would be doofus enough to do it.
I'll build you guys a little hut outside with a Leoman's tiny hut, and you guys can sleep
Oh,
there.
that'll work.
All right.
Sleep out on the
sure.
lawn. You're camping at my parents' house.
Yeah, there you go. And you don't have to worry about getting evicted or someone fining you for doing that. Yeah, it's not a prohibited type of magic, so the spell should work just fine. Before that, though, is there anything specific you wanted to do while you're in town besides visit with Samuel's folks?
Why'd we
So
come here
where's
again?
this magic barn or outbuilding that has all the loot? Did we pass it already, or is it on like the other side of Silvery?
I thought it was on the north side.
Okay.
Does it have a sign over it that says
Magic
hidden
stuff
loot
here.
here?
Well, all you
Loot.
really, the amount of detail that you were given is that it's outside of Silvery Moon, not far from it, but not within the city limits. So it would not be in effect of the mythal. In terms of the exact area, it's not like she drew you a map, but she said that when you're there, excuse me, this was Othavir, not Urgala. Othavir said that the Margester family is very well known, so you should have no trouble locating it.
My parents are members of the Harpers as well, and they live here. Would they have a pretty good idea of where this might be?
I think that's probably likely. Let me just see. Yeah. Yeah, your folks have heard of them. They, like I said, they actually seem to have some influence and kind of money behind them. But from what the rumors are that they are actually, they worship Asmodeus.
Yeah.
So nobody really they're kind of like a crime family in that way. That nobody really wants to. They don't like openly flaunt the laws of Silvery Moon or cause trouble for it in any way. So they're kind of just left to do whatever they do, but nobody really wants to go out of their way to associate with them, and certainly nobody that your folks know them personally.
Yeah, that makes sense. But if they could direct us whereabouts the family is, we can get to know them personally,
Or
yeah,
not.
they
Just steal their
Yeah,
stuff.
or not.
or steal their stuff and
well.
never get to know them.
I guess I was going to ask about that. What your actual intent was? You would know that even if they live slightly outside of Silvery Moon, they probably would still be covered by their laws. And if you guys were actually like caught in the midst of a heist, you actually would be breaking the law technically. So
Won't be the first time.
yeah. I'm just saying that you, Samuel, would be very familiar with the laws of Silver Moon, and so you would know, whether or not you cared is another thing entirely.
Right.
I personally would care. I don't know about everyone else, but I would not want to break the law.
Yeah, I know.
So were you just planning on asking them for all their magic items?
I mean, talk to them, recruit them. They can join us. They have magic items.
There we go.
Come join our party.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely get the vibe from your folks that you haven't, unless you told them, yeah, we're planning to get some magic items from them. I guess, what have you told them?
I would tell them that they have magic items that could assist us. I mean, I would tell my parents what we're doing,
Right.
what our
I mean,
kind of
same
goal
thing with
is.
me.
I guess I'm not clear on what your goal is.
To kill all the dragons. No, no,
And giants. That,
and giants.
No, we're trying
That
to
aren't
figure out what
friendly.
the hell's going on with the
No,
Jordan
we're trying.
Giants.
Yeah, the ordning.
Ordning.
We're trying to figure out what's going on with the ordning.
And stop destruction.
Well, I
Yes.
was actually I meant more specifically, what was your plan with the Marjester family?
Yeah.
More specifically.
Yeah, well, we've heard that they have magic items.
We are on a holy quest, and
And a
any
mission from
assistance that
God.
you could provide to us to aid us in this quest would be looked upon most favorably.
So yeah, that actually kind of confuses your folks because they ask, did you actually are you well wrapped up in whatever they're dealing with? The Marjesters?
No, not what they're dealing with.
So
But we want.
how are you going to get these magic items?
persuasion.
By force.
Let me show a little leg.
Show a little leg.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, your folks kind of shake their head, and they know you've always been kind of strong-willed and prone to flipping people off, and
Maybe a little.
What?
I'm sure
Proverbial.
you've outgrown that
Talked
by
about.
now, but it's come up in the
Yeah,
past.
I would never.
No,
He
he
hasn't.
hasn't.
Oh,
I would
Becky.
never.
Yeah,
that's
you
yesterday morning.
they
He got
trust
up-
you. I mean, obviously you're a big boy. You can make your own decisions and everything, but they definitely are. You can tell that they're a little bit worried that you would want to like get involved in them.
It'll be fine.
All right.
What could possibly go wrong?
Anyway, they say that
Nothing can go bad.
the Marchester property is actually only like about a mile outside of town along the Rovin Road towards Zamorvan Hall. There is
Perfect.
actually a dirt trail that is actually marked by it's kind of like a sigil, like the Marchester family sigil, which is like a shield within which is a talon. Pretty much,
Ah,
you can't miss it. The trail,
like a neon sign.
yeah, not quite neon, but yeah, it's not exactly hard to see. You can tell, the
Right.
Marchesters they're not afraid to show that they're there and, that they wield some influence in town. So the trail itself goes off a little ways, and then there's the property itself is behind an iron gate.
Right.
You can't actually see the tower or the property, the property itself from the road. There is like groves of trees, and it's kind of, I don't want to say concealed, but it's private.
So this stuff is, according to what you said earlier, is in this like buried or hidden in this carriage house, which is away from their manor anyway. So, I mean, Why wouldn't we try to go in stealthily and
I'm going to assume
remove them?
that if it is holding magic items, it is in some way protected, whether by people or
Or
magically.
magic, right? Yeah, probably.
So I don't think we're just gonna open a door and walk in.
Why not?
There's just shelves lined with magic items.
Yeah.
It's like a Target.
Take what you would like.
So
No.
anyway, that's about where it is. I mean, I can.
We're generally not the most diplomatic either.
Who is that?
But hey, that's what role playing is all about, isn't it?
It's part of it.
Here to mess stuff up.
I put a little blue square where the about where that manor
Sure.
is.
Okay.
All right. So we want to head out there in the morning then?
Sure.
All right. So you guys then they make you a nice dinner. You get to eat and take leftovers back to your camp, your tent. Nice little magic tent or whatever.
I'll help with dishes.
They're very
And
grateful to
talk
that.
to his mom.
They think you're a very well-mannered person, and
They only know.
well, it can't be worse than Samrel in terms of manners.
Right.
Who knows what they got used to with him growing up. So anyway,
right,
yeah, the night passes uneventfully. You can see that there's really no festivals or anything going on at town at this point. With midsummer coming up, within a couple weeks, that's really going to be the next big thing. And there are probably some preparations that are getting made for that, but that's a ways off. So you're free to walk about the town, see the sights if you want, go into any libraries, stock up for supplies.
Oh yeah. Baldry wants to check out some libraries.
I go full on tourist.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a wizard or a bard for that
As
matter.
a ladrid wizard, I'd just go all gobsmacked, staring up.
Yeah, there is time. I mean, literally, this is probably one of the library capitals of the world. So you're just kind of, even if you don't like buy anything, you just go there and go, smell the ancient tomes on the shelves.
That new city smell.
Yeah.
So are we going to spend a couple days here then before we do that, or what?
Oh, I thought we were gonna head out the following morning. We're just being playing tourists tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sampling the local foods and all that stuff, local delicacies.
So yeah, you guys are to spend a little bit of a night out in town, but you kind of come back early enough so that you can get up the following morning. And yes, there's nothing significant that goes on during the night. Samuel's parents wish you well. They will keep a lookout. I mean, obviously they worry, even though like I said, Samuel will do what Samuel will do, but they seem to have heard enough stories that they will be, if they don't hear back from you, like by they don't know how long you're planning to be gone, but they're hoping, they ask if you could at least send word that you're okay by the end of the day. And if they don't hear from you,
Sure.
they will alert the authorities and go from there.
Indeed.
I go up to both of Samuel's parents and give them all a very overlong hug. And I'm like, Mom, Dad.
Yeah, Samuel's mom rolls with it and hugs you right back. His dad's just kind of like more, okay. Kind of weird fey creature hugging me. That's a thing.
Hey man, I'm going full on Aladdin.
But they're very. You can tell that they like you guys, and they are like I said, they are a little bit worried for you, but they figure you're big tough adventurers and you've seen things that would freeze the blood of most others, so they figure you know what you're doing. So
we told them the tales of the bandits and such,
including the fact that you kind of provoked them and everything.
Yeah.
It was
it
was a completely unprovoked attack.
I totally had him going with my story, and he flipped him off.
It was completely unprovoked. We had our backs turned and everything. That's the story I tell them.
Well, they're very proud that you returned the
Back was
horses
turned, but
anyway.
he went like this.
Yeah.
Or not returned the horses, but brought the horses in and didn't let them run wild and starve to
Good
death.
came out of it.
All right, so let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll have you guys heading out on the road towards the Marchester Estates. So
Yay.
back in a bit. Okay, so we're back. You guys have gotten a long rest. You've had breakfast, said your goodbyes, and now you are heading out along the Roven Road towards the Morven Hall, but planning to stop.
Get accosted by a dozen riders.
Yeah, let's just not do an encounter roll. At least not until you get further.
Come on, I
along.
can't roll a 20 again.
Never
Sure.
say never.
Tempt fate. Tempt fate.
Yeah, try it.
Oops, no, I don't want to do fog of war.
You got to do a double flip off again.
Yep. So you guys travel along the road. You see, plenty of people entering and leaving town. Again, it's not. There are gates in and out of town of Silver Moon itself.
Know what I did. Sorry.
Spellcasting.
I just hit a button on my character sheet for some reason.
That's okay. We're randomly flailing about. So yeah, about a mile outside of town, you do indeed. You've been kind of keeping an eye out because you're not sure exactly where it is or what side of the road it is. But there are various other residences along the road. But there's one definitely that you do see. It's a dirt track that leads off the main road. And it is indeed marked with a kind of a stone marker with it's a shield emblem with a talon in the middle of it. And this looks like it may indeed be the place. The trail goes off into a wooded property. Beyond the trees, you can't really see much. Right now, the road, you pretty much have to yourself. Nobody is traveling along it.
All right.
So what's your plan? What are you going to do?
Look for the sigil at Dirt Road. Did we find that?
Yeah,
So you just said-
at about a mile outside, you did find a dirt road that's leading off
Yeah.
with the sigil, and the dirt trail heads into a wooded property. The woods are thick enough that you can't really see any buildings or how far the dirt trail goes. The trail goes into the woods and kind of out of sight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's our plan going in here, guys? I think we should talk about what we want to say and how much information we want to tell them about this ordning thing and what we know. I mean, is that your plan, Samro?
I don't really have a plan.
Who runs this place? Do we know?
The Marchester family is who owns the property, and
Possibly Asmodeus worshippers.
that's the rumor that they're devil worshippers.
I think we should be totally upfront and just, hey.
We're trying to figure out what's going with the giants, man.
Modius has sent us.
We met. Oh shit.
I just said we'd be upfront, tell them everything.
Who has the
Following their
best
mercy.
persuasion checks out of all of us?
I have a 0, so not I.
Well, okay, I guess. Why don't each of you make a an intuition check? I can't keep doing an insight check. And if you don't remember everything behind that, what you were told.
We're pretty bad. At least Dave is with us.
Yeah.
Oh, and Samuel.
Okay.
Samuel, you got the best.
So, all right. So you get 2 pieces of information that you may recall from Oath of Ear. first off, the carriage house, from what he described to you, he said it was like a 30-foot square stone building with 2 floors. The windowless ground floor that holds the carriage has a big wooden sliding door in the front, and that the upper story of the carriage house is an apartment with a floor made of wooden planks and a barred window set into each wall, and an open wooden staircase in one corner of the building connects the floors. So that was the information he gave you about the carriage house. And the other piece of information that Samuel remembers him saying something about there being guards, and that the sliding wooden door is protected by an arcane lock. He said other things, but unfortunately you guys, unless you wrote them down, you don't remember.
So with that religion that was mentioned earlier, that they practice, what religion did you? I can't remember the name of it.
Asmodeus.
Yeah, I mean, is that common? I've never heard of that. So
Make a knowledge religion check.
Zero.
Nope, you've never heard of him.
Never heard of that. So I ask anybody, does anybody know? I mean, is that something we can...
This is awesome.
Ain't no shit.
Wow. Wow.
Serendiel, how are you on your religion knowledge? There, Groot knows.
Groot knows all.
Groot, the all-knowing.
Thank God for the
Groot's been around the block. He's
Good job.
beat up
I know he's a fucking demon.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
He knows to watch out for those golf clubs. Apparently, Asmodeus is the lord of the 9th circle of hell.
Oh, God.
Open worship of him began about a century ago with small cults, and after the spell plague, blah, 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 blah. The beliefs of the people of the north. Yeah, in the beliefs of the people of the north, which coincide with many tales told by dwarves, elves, and others, Asmodeus is the lord of the 9th, the leader of all devils of the 9 hells. People know devils to be iron-minded and silver-tongued purveyors of temptation, whose price for their boons can be as dear as one's soul. It's said that when a soul waits on the fugue plane for a deity to take it into its appropriate afterlife, devils approach the soul and offer it a chance of power and immortal pleasures. All a soul needs to do is take one step out of the dust and the milling crowd and put a foot on the first rung of the infernal ladder that represents the hierarchy of the 9 hells. Let's see. Faithful of Asmodeus. They acknowledge that devils offer their worshippers a path that's not for everyone, just as eternally basking in the light of Lathander or endlessly swinging a hammer in the mines of Moradin may not be for everyone. Those who serve Asmodeus in life hope to be summoned out of the moaning masses of the fugue plane after death. They yearn for the chance to master their own fates with all of eternity to achieve their goals.
So there's a chance these magic weapons could not be aligned with us. I would think. Anyway.
Possibility, sure.
Yeah. All right. So we're just going in there without a plan. We're just gonna slaughter some farmers, or
I thought we were going to
Paul
lay it
will
all
get
on
that
them.
one.
Be straight up front.
We're here for the weapons.
Oh, just ask very nicely. Hello, we'd like to borrow your stuff so we can take care of some giants. Here's why.
we're destroying the world,
And if they don't like us, they'll kill us, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
and then we all roll new characters.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're assuming that they can kill us.
Right.
That's true.
Well, at the moment, you don't see anyone to even talk to. You've just got a dirt road leading off the Raven Road.
Head up the road and
Okay.
Talk to the
So you
first guard that we see.
step on the dirt trail leading off the Rovan Road, and
And you die.
soon you are in shadow of this grove of trees, or little miniature forest, if you will. It's a wooded property. You proceed probably about a quarter of a mile. The dirt road kind of meanders a little bit, goes around a few curves, and eventually you come up to what looks to be an iron wall, not solid iron, but I mean
Gate,
a wall with a gate, basically kind of, what's the word I'm
tall
looking
fence.
for? A fenced property. The property is fenced with iron rungs, and there is a large iron gate that appears to be locked. You see no people at this gate. Right now, you are definitely out away from the road. You're not within sight of the road at all. And at the moment, everything is quiet. Even the sounds of birds appear muted, as if they are hesitant to announce their presence.
This place is creepy.
How far away is the banner or whatever from? Can we see it from this gate?
Nope. The banner was a marker, a stone marker that was right at the entrance, right off the road. You are outside of you're about a quarter of a mile away from the road, and it's out of sight at the moment. You're deep in the woods.
Right. We can't see the house or the carriage house in the distance.
You kind of catch a glimpse of what looks like it might be some sort of a structure, through the trees, but definitely the dirt road kind of curves around and again through these trees.
Right.
So it looks like it's maybe like 500 yards away. So not close, but it's still private. But definitely there's a iron gate between it and you.
Is there like a pathway along this fence line?
No.
That
The dirt road you're on, though, continues past the locked gate.
is there like undergrowth and whatnot then?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, it's
this woods?
it's what you would expect in a woods. There's definitely no trail, though, that lines the fence.
Okay.
The fence itself is about maybe 8 to 10 feet tall, with the traditional kind of spiked iron fence posts.
You want to shoot one of your fire things up in the air or something?
Fire things.
Like a fire bolt or
Sure, I can
No.
shoot a firebolt up in the air if everybody's cool with that.
just try to get somebody's attention.
Straight above you, there are trees.
If we fire something in, they're probably going to say, "Yeah, we're under attack. Kill whoever's out there."
Yeah, I don't know. We should probably just go up, knock.
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 Let's look for some enormous knockers.
Is this gate locked, he said?
It does appear to
I
be
guess
locked.
it
Yes,
is.
there is a large round mechanism that looks like it takes a key in the middle and it connects both of the doors of the gate.
So, so technically we'd be breaking into their property,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be seen as kindly.
It's all friendly, not very friendly like.
We could still bang on the gate. I don't know.
Sure.
Call out, hello.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do?
Sure,
Yeah.
why not?
Sure.
Wait
Who is going to do that?
5 minutes.
I will call out, hello, visitors. How are you? We're here to visit you.
And you bang on the gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use my minor illusion to make the banging on the gate sound without actually banging on the gate? Just make it really loud.
Yeah,
Sure.
that should fall under the...
It
Sounds
says you
good.
can create a sound. Its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. So just make like a
Oh.
really loud banging, like we're knocking on the gate.
All right. So kind of a clanging noise as if you had a stick and were banging between the bars, the
Yeah.
rungs.
It's like a triangle.
Bang,
making
bang,
it
bang, 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 bang,
significantly
bang.
louder than we could do it on our own. It's
Right.
Okay. You make a lot of noise with the combination of the illusion and Samuel howling out hello at the top of his lungs. That echoes throughout the woods. You hear like the flutter of some birds that fly away as they apparently are disturbed by all the racket, but otherwise you hear no response forthcoming from the property.
It's quiet.
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 Doing
quiet.
a
Too
ritual.
quiet.
Doing an evil ritual.
That's it.
Well,
Take-
nobody
Take
home.
time for some thieves' tools.
Yeah, nobody home.
I think you're right.
All right.
If you don't want us to come in your property, tell us now. Oh, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't
Guess-
hear anything.
Sounds
I
like an
agree.
open invitation to me.
All right. I'm gonna try thieves' tools. What do I roll?
That would be just a straight up dex check.
Well,
Not
Oh,
a
that
save,
was
a check.
I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration, by the way, as well.
okay.
Not a bad idea.
Well, you probably don't need it, but you could use it anyway.
14.
With just that, do you want to?
No, I'll use the Bardic inspiration. That's D what?
D8.
8. All
Yep.
right.
It's an 18.
Okay, with some inspirational musical noises forthcoming from Samuel, you are inspired enough to finagle that lock open. And you hear a
Yay!
click, and the gate kind of just opens slightly towards you.
I shoot a wink at Samuel. Thank you.
Okay.
Teamwork. Man.
Shall we keep approaching?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
as we
found
do, I'm
it.
calling out, "Hello, the gate was open.
Yeah, we found an open gate. Why wouldn't we venture in?
Gate was open. We're just coming to visit. Please don't blast us to hell."
Sure, you're okay.
Okay. So yeah, you again. This dirt trail kind of wanders back and forth, and you are shouting out again. You hear your voice echoing throughout, and you come around kind of a bend in the road. You now can see off maybe 100 feet or so distant in the woods. There's a clearing within which is you do see a large stone carriage house and a 3-story tower. Standing between you and it, you see what look to be 2 guards dressed in armor carrying spears, and they shout at you, "Halt!"
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Stop.
Hello?
They say, "This is private property. How did you get in here?"
Well, the gate was open, so we've been calling at the gate. No one answered, and it was open, so we decided to come in further and say hello in person.
Are you seriously trying to bluff them, or are you just being facetious?
I
Yeah.
was gonna try to bluff them, but I guess
Okay, well,
let
you
him
go
do
first.
it.
Well, you
Probably
already said
let
it.
Samuel-
Sarandia, why don't you go ahead and make a deception check?
Yeah, okay.
I'm over behind you picking at my harp, giving you inspiration.
Can I get an aid?
I'm giving you inspiration.
Yeah,
so
okay.
you
I
have a
rolled a 10 or
D8.
a 3.
D8.
Oh, D8.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Oh,
can add a
good.
D8 if you want. So, you got a
14.
14.
Okay.
Could be worse.
Hopefully these guys ain't too bright.
So a 14.
Mental note, let Samuel talk about this stuff.
I have a +4 to deception. I have a plus to everything. I'm playing a bard.
The guards just look kind of confused and say, "No one is allowed on this property. The gate should have been locked, and
Oh,
you need to leave right
Well,
now."
okay, but could you maybe give an? We were seeking an audience with the people who live here. How would we go about doing that?
You who are you trying to speak with?
The people who own this place.
The people that own this place.
Tell us out the name.
What was their name?
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
The Marchans?
The Marchands.
You mean the Margesters?
Margesters. Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
Those people.
Okay.
Them.
I think it's time you both, or I think it's time you left now.
So how would
job.
we get a hold of them? Because it's very important we contact them. We just want to talk.
About what?
Well, are you familiar with
Our Lord and
the
Savior
goings-on of the
Asmodeus?
Giants? Well,
yeah,
I've
that's
heard the goings-ons of the Giants lately and what's been happening.
Anyone with half a brain has noticed what's been going on with the Giants recently. What has that to do with the
Exactly.
Margesters?
Well, the Magesters may have some artifacts that, if we could borrow or rent from them, would help us immensely in stopping the Giants and stopping a catastrophe that affects all of Faerun.
Anybody who wants to can make a perception check. Okay. Definitely. Yeah. Enough of you.
Samuel?
When you said artifacts, you
Oh,
you catch the slightest sideways glance at the two guards, kind of glance at each other, and then look back, trying to maintain a poker face. But you definitely caught some kind of reaction to
Caught
that.
it. Nice.
And they say, "What artifacts are you talking about?"
I'll let you do the talking from here on out, Samuel.
Well, we know that there is a carriage house that stores some artifacts. Asmodeus told us. That's what I'm going full in on. This.
Are you trying
okay.
to? Okay, make a deception check at disadvantage.
Aw, it's
Tell them the truth,
disadvantage?
man.
Oh, fudge.
Hey, that's not bad.
Hey, there you
Still,
go.
that's
24.
not terrible.
16? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, is it disadvantage?
Yeah.
16. All right.
Asmodeus told us. Who are you people?
Well,
We're the chosen ones.
we're the chosen ones.
Yeah.
Chosen for what?
Well, it wasn't we didn't
you-
choose it.
Do you think you could fight a dragon? Or not a giant? Cause they're coming.
Well, I lay it all out. I'm like, look, man, we fought dragons, we fought giants, we
Fire
fought
giants, cloud giants.
We had cloud giants, we had fire giants, we had stone giants, we had hill giants. We
fought a chimera. We
fought a chimera, we fought a white dragon. We went to Golden Fields. We went to
We've been all over.
Everland. We were up at Iron Slog.
Right. Yeah,
Dude,
that
we're caught up in this thing.
Your bosses will
We're
want
looking for
to
help.
talk to us.
We're caught up in this thing whether we want to be or not. Your
Mass
bosses
hysteria.
might-
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats living together. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Doing fine until Dickless here told us to leave.
The guard says to let's see, to you, Sorrendiel, you need to escort the rest of your party and make sure they leave this property.
Okay.
Sorrendiel, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Oh, does it matter?
Why him though?
I don't think it's gonna matter, guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I
Take
was gonna
my
say, could I tell that he was casting a spell?
You did not see him cast a spell.
Okay, just curious.
I was being honest, by the way. No deception. I just laid it out, like caught up in this shit. Anyway, but I rolled a 10.
Sorrendiel, you are magically charmed. You obey
Oh, you
the
got there.
spoken commands of this guard to the
Alright.
best of your ability.
Okay. Hey guys, Sexy here says we gotta go.
Hey, you can go, Serendil. I'm gonna talk to these guys. So
No, we gotta all go.
yeah, no, that's fine. I'm busy.
No, man, we gotta go.
I love it. I'm gonna look at them. I'm gonna say, so about this this meeting. When can this happen?
Why don't you give
start
us your
pulling
name
Sam-
and we will pass it along to our Lord and
I start pulling on Samuel.
I mean, I'm fine like staying here.
Yeah,
We can wait.
We've come a long way.
I've got a hut. I can like just set up camp. It's not a big deal.
And again, the guard
The land
addresses
here-
you, Serendil, and says, make sure that he is located on the other side of the gate and it is firmly latched.
Okay, I keep pulling on Samuel. Come on, Samuel. gotta go, man.
Latched, not locked. You said
Time to go.
Whose job was it to latch that anyway? Because you guys left it open.
Are you actively resisting, Serendil?
Yes, I'm resisting. I'm like he's pulling on me and I'm like fighting back.
Go ahead and make a opposed
Something
athletics
to them.
checks. Or Samuel,
Well,
if
I
you want to
said-
try to do an escape artist to wriggle free.
Can I
How
do the
hard do I
acrobatics?
get? Well, I mean, wow. Okay, I rolled a 21. Hey,
Whoa!
look at
Is that a tie?
Yeah.
that. Yep, sure.
Okay.
Do it again.
So
I
I
goes
find
to the runner.
I find Serendil's his actions odd, given what I know about him. And
Otter.
Yeah, a little
I-
odder. Normal.
I get no, I don't think you wouldn't do that. I don't think you would.
Yeah, no.
And
No, I'm just saying it's odder, not odd.
Oh yes, yes.
Qualifier important.
I cast this on him.
Ah.
Interesting. All right, so a spell of third level or lower.
Command is, if they're using command is
think
a
it's
first level
charm.
spell.
Charm person.
It's got to be charm.
Okay.
That's probably a first level spell.
Yeah.
Command only works for 1 second or something, or 1 round, or
Command is a word that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This is actually not a spell
well,
per se,
that's what I did.
but I'm trying to interpret this because dispel magic can be you choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
I'm still making flirty eyes with the guy.
On a
'cause I'm
successful check, the spell ends. So, guess yeah.
Yeah, do I get a saving throw or anything?
No, it's me doing an opposed roll if it's above 4th level. To me, I would treat it as spell effect of 3rd level or lower.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. I mean, it's basically an ability, and it's not technically a spell. I'm just trying to interpret it into because I think that dispel magic would at least have a chance to this. I'm just trying to parse it into something that's a spell level.
All right.
Okay, go ahead and go ahead and make a check to see.
Make a
What
saving
kind of
throw?
No, Paul needs to make an ability check using his
Right.
spellcasting ability.
Hey,
Nope.
Thayer.
Oh my god.
Not only does it
Wow.
not work, the guards see you casting this spell or notice you casting this spell, and they train their spears on you, and they say, "Out now."
Do we?
I-
Do Do
I
we
said,
have to
come
kill you?
on.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Serendial, I would not say
you.
you're really trying to the best of your ability to get.
I'm trying. I'm pulling on Samuel. I rolled a 21,
Well, don't you
man.
have some sort of magic that could compel him to leave?
He told me to make him leave, not kill him.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, no, I'm
Uh,
not saying you would want to kill him. I'm saying
Well, I'm
you
a
have some
battle
means to
mage. All my
magically compel
spells-
him to leave, or
Not
stop
really.
him from resisting leaving.
Not really. I'm a battle mage. All my shit's
Yeah, and you can't really do
offensive.
like non-lethal magical damage or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at them and I'm gonna say, we need to talk to your bosses. I don't want to have to kill you.
I could cast I could cast sleep.
They look at each other and look at you and they say, I really don't think so. And yeah, we're going to go for initiative, and I need to get this set up because it's not precisely the way I had envisioned this. So let me just see. I was thinking,
Shocking.
yeah, they'll probably sneak up and then be real stealthy and
See, that's what I was thinking.
No,
Let's-
I don't.
Let's
No,
steal the stuff.
I only have a +10 to stealth. I don't do stealth.
I don't know why you guys are opposed to stealing stuff that's rightfully ours.
okay.
Is it?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that you were right there in front of the carriage house because
We,
that's
we're
It'll
still on
change.
my map of the property is not big enough to say where.
Well, we're on the overland map.
Yeah, I know.
Can't
I was
see
setting up that up on the battle
Oh.
map, my very small homemade battle map that I made for this thing. So, which I should have made
Okay.
bigger than I did, but it doesn't really matter.
Our resident loose cannon has gone off and blowed it all up.
What do you mean loose cannon? I was trying to persuade them to let me talk to their bosses.
So
They are the ones who had to.
So
yeah,
they're like right in front of them. Building?
well, they are now because I didn't make a big enough map to put
Right,
you
right.
500 feet
Yeah.
away from it.
Oh,
So
why don't you put us on that other map that you had earlier?
the giant open map.
Yeah.
you're closer than that to the tower and everything, and I didn't feel like drawing the
Yeah,
tower. and
okay, whatever, yeah.
Anyway, this is good enough. So
Just ignore the buildings for now.
no, the bill.
So I'm
I'm
probably
going to
in
say that you
front.
guys got that close, and that's where you saw the
Okay.
guards. I'm kind of retconning it.
So I'm in front, and Serendial is trying to pull me.
Right.
So initiative. Let me pull that up here. Okay. Go ahead and add yourselves. I will try my group initiative thing again here because that worked pretty well last time.
Oh, Jesus.
Um,
Pulling for spit tonight. God.
I don't
Nice.
like when you do group initiative. Holy crap, they roll well.
Yeah.
all right. Excuse me.
Serendial's first. But he's going to try to pull you away.
Well, I could cast sleep on you.
Yeah, something.
Okay, hang
Is there a
on.
save for that? Probably.
Sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, you basically got to treat us as if you were trying to get an enemy to leave, right?
Well, but I wouldn't attack you.
Yeah.
Where'd the guys go?
It's not just a suggestion. You are magically compelled to do everything within your power to get him to
Oh.
leave. It's
Okay.
It's not just like a little suggestion or you're.
Is it more like a command?
Yeah, well, it's not a command. It's you are charmed. It's like a vampire's charm. You are
Right.
literally under. You have to do what that person says.
But would I try to kill him to get him away?
Yeah.
You would try to do everything in your power to make sure that he was on the other side of the gate.
Okay.
You would have a natural. It's not like you're not his friend anymore, but it's essentially imagine your best friend just did something illegal and you, against everything you believe in, and you
Right.
just have to make sure that he stops doing it. So you don't have to kill him unless that guard tells you to kill him,
Right.
which may involve, you don't know, but at this point,
Which may happen.
So-
let's see. I got it.
So to me, this screams, "Hey, we got a cleric! Protection from evil! Protection from evil! Protection from evil!"
Okay, so let me get this sorted.
Do I have that?
Where did they go?
Yeah, I don't have that one
Yeah, they're gone,
prepared.
Paul.
Oh, what the
I
hell?
can't cast that ritually.
I moved him.
Out of the order and everything.
Yeah, I moved him to the wrong layer. Hang on.
Ah, okay.
There they are. Okay. So it looks like Sorendil, you are actually first.
All right, I cast polymorph, turn to a giant ape.
There you go.
And I grab Sam. I try to grapple Samro.
Okay. Grappling would probably be an action, so I would say that you would have to wait till that.
Oh, okay. Well, I turn to a giant ape with the intention of next round grappling Samro
Yep, that works.
And taking them past the gate.
Yep.
and taking up a ton of space.
Yeah. Let me just make that a little bit, because that's large, right? It's
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's huge. I think that's right.
So they like pushed me right out of the way.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
huge.
We'll just say you take up that much space.
Huge.
It's huge.
gonna be
It's huge. Okay. Let me check something here.
There you go.
Okay. One of the guards, he's got a spear out, but instead of like throwing his spear at you or running at you with it, let's see, Samrel, no, actually not Samrel. Valdry, he points at you, and out of his finger, this ray of fire suddenly erupts and
Jesus.
shoots towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming a 26 hits you.
Yep.
You take 6 fire damage. That was a pathetic roll, damage-wise, anyway.
Ow!
Similarly, the other guard targets Mirror, and with a similar ray from his finger.
All right.
He hits a 24.
Oh yeah, that hit.
You take 16 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And the one that did that, it was actually kind of crisscross. That was the one on the right that did that to you, and the one on the left is the one that went for Valdry. Mirror, it is your turn.
Okay.
Sorendil, I'm just going to stick you in the corner over here out of the way.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. I didn't like that. So that was this guy,
Yes.
correct? Straight ahead of me.
Mhm.
All right. I didn't like that, so I'm gonna whack at him.
Whack at him with your longbow like a melee weapon?
Yeah. No. Well, you know.
Okay.
So
From a distance.
So you're
21.
going to hunter's mark him?
Yep.
Okay. 21. He's wearing scale mail. That does seem to hit.
So 8 plus 3, so 12. What's this for?
I have no idea what that for is. Just tell me how much damage you did.
I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know what that. Oh, that's the one d6. I think that's a bonus thing that I have.
From what?
Colossal Slayer.
No, because he wasn't injured yet. I didn't have that checked. Just do the 8, 9, 10, 11 until I figure that out.
Okay. Definitely hit him. He staggers back a bit. and he is now wounded. Was that all you were going to do?
I get 2 attacks, so do one more.
Oh.
Hold on. Did it go?
19.
19 is just enough.
Okay. And I got. I didn't do Colossus Slayer. So 8, 9, and then my Colossus Slayer's a D8.
I see a Colossus
So I
Slayer of
gotta-
1 on there.
Oh,
You
okay.
just, yeah.
Got it.
So you got the 8, 9, and then the 4 for Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
So 13
so
more?
13 more.
Okay.
Yep. 13 more.
Okay. And he staggers again and looks pissed off that you hit
Trying
him.
to figure out what that.
Samuel, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to move over here. And I'm going to cast Heat Metal at this guy's suit of armor.
Ooh, fun. Okay. And does that, can you put the spell description up? I'm trying to remember the timing
Yep.
for how that works.
So that's... there you go.
Okay. Um, hmm. Okay, so when you cast it, let me think about this. The target is a manufactured metal object that you can see.
Yes. So his scale mail.
Your spell appears
The
to
target.
fail.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh.
Must be magic.
Or it's not there.
So it doesn't glow.
You.
Because it should glow red hot, and so it doesn't glow red hot. As far as I can tell.
It does not.
Okay. Well, then that's my turn.
Okay. Groot, you're up.
Oh, let's do. So I walk up here. Need to walk up closer. Yeah. I'm not going to turn into a snake, but I am going to whip out my staff.
How would you call it?
You
Gonna
wanna whip
whip
this
out.
out.
Gonna whip out his
Snake, I'll make bigger. Come on.
Okay,
Down his
and
trouser snake.
so I will do that, and he will attack that guy there. Let's see here. I need bite
Bite.
and a constrict, and they both miss.
Dang.
Clomp dodge.
That was my action. So hang on a second. Want to do anything else? I know I can't do anything else. Right? I can't do a. Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. Voldre, you're up.
All right, I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh, fun. Can you give yourself an aura?
Yep, I will give myself an aura.
That just sounds so wrong.
It just. 15. All right. And I am going to move forward and put it right on those two dudes.
Okay.
So, wisdom saving.
Yeah, I'm just trying to read it through again to see when they do their save.
Yep.
When the creature enters the area for the first time or on a turn or starts its turn there. So it'll be on the start of their turn.
Even though I walked forward and took them into the.
Technically, they did not enter it. You moved closer to them, so it'll be on the start of their turn.
Yep.
Okay. So then we're up to Serendial. Grape Ape.
Okay, I'm still charmed, I assume.
Yes, you are. And you feel very strongly that now you should be able to pull Samrel the hell out of here.
All right, I go over to Samrel and like grab ass with him.
Samrel, are you going to
try to grapple him?
Are you going to try and resist, or what are you going to do in retaliation?
Does he make like an attack roll against?
It would be an
Post
yeah, it would be an
strength,
opposed athletics check.
Can I use acrobatics or no?
Actually, you know what? For grabbing him, you would just make an attack roll.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like if you're grappling
really?
someone, you just make an attack roll.
All right.
Ah, my
It's a
AC
shit
is
roll for
17.
me.
Yep. Okay. So
Oh.
you've grabbed him, and let's double check the grapple rules because now that might come into play. No, that's grapple rules for monsters. Hang on, I always got to look this up. Grapple. Come on. It's a crap compendium. Okay, screw you, compendium. D&D Beyond. There we go. So you want to grab a creature. Oh, for frack's sake.
Use an attack action.
Thank you. I'm looking it up. I signed in the wrong web browser. There we go. So, yeah, definitely the size isn't an issue. So you try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. A strength athletics check. If you're okay. Take a special melee attack. Okay, so it is
You use the attack action, but you're using
a strength athletics.
check.
Oh.
So
And I can use either athletics or acrobatics to get out of it. My choice. That's going to be hard to beat.
Still might.
Nope.
okay.
I don't know why I'm at.
All right. So
but 15.
you are grappled. So
Let's see. I moved 30 feet. So I would move 10 feet back.
yeah, basically you have half movement now.
Samrel
So
with me.
you can move him with you, but your movement rate is halved. Wait, he's two
Okay,
sizes
well-
smaller than you, so actually your movement rate wouldn't be halved.
Okay, well, I'd only be able to move 10 feet. So
Okay.
basically I'd be a.
So
So
the
Samrel,
Great
you
Ape
wanna-
comes up, grabs you, and just starts dragging you across the lawn in the direction of the
Oh my god.
driveway. Okay. That Tim, if you would not have already used your inspiration, or if you would have already used your inspiration, I would give inspiration for that. Because that is exactly the
did
type of
use my
spell casting that.
To up my junky roll from 4 to 10.
You remember when
Still-
he had those 2 8s? That's when he used it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it. Okay. The guard that is by the snake. Let's see. He is not going to do the. Well, no, actually, he can do it against someone else. I was going to say the ranged fire ray type attack against the snake, but that would be disadvantage. So he's just going to go after Valdry again.
Well, doesn't he have to roll against my spirit guardians first?
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, let me look that up again. That's which save?
Wisdom, DC 14 wisdom.
Okay. All right, which he's not proficient in. He got an 18, so I believe that halves the damage.
Yeah, so 8. So he takes 8 necrotic.
Okay.
Or 8 radiant. 8 radiant. Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you can see him kind of squinting and going back. Let's see, this is... He doesn't have any resistance or anything, does he?
Radiant does extra. Come on.
Or that.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it. Radiant does anything
Dang it.
one way or the other. So, yeah, he retaliates against you because he really doesn't like that. He's going to do another fire ray against you. Oh, wait, that was his wisdom save. His attack roll, 14 probably does not do anything.
Nope.
Your armor
Nope.
gets scorched a bit, but does not damage you. The other guard is going to continue going after Mirror because he doesn't like getting shot particularly.
And he also has to roll for...
Yep, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep.
He made a natural 20, so he definitely made it. So he also
So takes 8.
takes 8 damage.
Good. Hopefully you used that one up.
And he fires his fire ray at you. Mirror 15, I don't think is enough quite.
Oh, that just hits me.
Oh, that's right at the border. Okay, so you take
Yep.
9 fire damage from that attack. And he steps back out. The other guard, actually, you know what? He can do this and get out of the area without
Oh, yeah.
drawing an opportunity.
Without-
Actually, you know
yeah.
what? He will do this. Kind of going in between there. He did not want to draw an opportunity attack from the nasty snake. Mirror, it is your turn.
All right. So I figured out what that other roll was. That is the +6 for the hunter's mark. I just made it all in one roll
So why does it show up separately then?
because I was pressing it.
Okay. So just don't
Before-
bother pressing
yeah.
it and it'll show up.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that
Right,
makes sense.
I forgot I did that last time. All right. So I'm gonna go after the same guy again.
Okay. That definitely hits.
So 18.
All right. Yeah, that one definitely rocks him back further on his heels. 17, though, whiffs off his armor.
Oh damn. Okay.
And that was your 2 attacks?
And yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna move.
Okay. Samuel, you got a big ape dragging you across the lawn.
All right. I am going to cast slow on all 3 of them.
All 3 of... There's 2 guards.
This guy, this guy, this guy.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And do you have something I can look at to save against? All right. DC 14, it is a dexterity... No, it's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
First guard, say the one that Mirror was shooting at, he made it. The other one by the snake failed pathetically. So
Nice.
he is slow. And that has a whole bunch of fun effects. Serendial, go ahead and make your save.
Sorry, was that a
DC
Wiz-
14
dexterity?
wisdom.
Wisdom.
wisdom? Oh,
man,
yeah.
that is a wise ape.
Right.
Damn
Indeed, he
wise.
is.
Fucking ape, man.
Fucking ape, man.
Okay. You can't really move because you're grappled, so that's the end of your turn.
Nope.
Groot, you're
That's
up.
All right, we'll have the snake attack first. Miss. Hit.
25 hits. So
Grappled.
you do 12 bludgeoning. Is
And I
his
wanna-
attack magical?
No.
Okay, so it looks like it
Well-
actually does less damage than you would have thought.
That's fine. However, I want to drag him back into the aura.
Nice.
Okay. We were
Nice.
just looking at that rule. I believe that. Let's see now. This.
It's when he enters.
No, I'm looking up moving a.
Oh.
Because it's basically an automatic hit from the creature itself
Yep.
with the constrict ability. So you can move with him. He has no way of preventing that from happening.
So
Okay, so you drag him back into the spirit zone.
I do.
All right.
And then Groot. No, wait.
Oh, yeah, Groot's up,
and then
sorry.
Groot is going to cast spell magic on the polymorph effect on Valdry.
Mm. Nice.
So I would need to
Valdry?
roll.
You mean on Serendial?
Sorry, Serendial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's roll 20 plus 3. I need a 14. Walker. I'm
No.
going to take my inspiration.
Okay. No!
Oh,
What a fucking waste.
A good idea, though.
Yeah. Can I do, no, I can't do 2 actions. No, sorry. Yep, that's it. I
Okay.
think that's it. Do I have any other bonus actions? I don't believe so. I don't. So I'm done then.
All right. Then Valdry is up.
All right, I'm gonna just move a little bit forward to make sure I get the second guy in, too. Zappy, zappy, zappy.
Okay.
So they'll both have to roll on their turns.
All
You can
right.
still do something.
Yeah, that was just your
I-
move.
it's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
But you can,
Yeah, but you can
attack, you
cast-
can do anything.
anything else that doesn't
anything
require
except-
concentration.
Right. So don't cast, I think spiritual weapon you could even do, couldn't you?
It's a
You-
bonus action.
And it's,
Well,
it
you
doesn't-
can use an action even,
Yep,
as
you
long
can,
as it's not something else with concentration.
yep. You could cast flaming whatever you do. Holy shit fire. or
Flaming
something, I don't
tongue.
know.
Shit fire.
Holy shit fire.
Yeah, cast holy shit fire.
Well, I'm not going to cast Holy Shit Fire. I am going to cast Toll of the Dead on the one constricted by Groot Snake.
Ah,
Let's see if I copied this in.
DC
So,
14.
let's see. Yeah. See if he makes it.
Oh, he critical failed
damn.
it.
So he takes 2d12. So he takes.
No, he takes 4d12 because it's a critic. No, it's not a critical hit.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
it was
Yeah.
just
It's
So he
still
failed.
really
takes-
good roll though.
15.
Yeah, so he takes 15 necrotic.
Necrotic damage. Okay.
That's a good one.
All right. Yeah, he's not liking that much.
Bong. Bong.
Let me check something
Nice.
here.
You suck.
You suck.
You suck.
Oh, what would be best?
It'd be best if they take their break right now.
Smoke him. Take 5. Smoke him if you got him.
Take a coffee break, man. All they had to
Really?
do was
That's
introduce.
it?
Right. They're taking their jobs way too seriously.
That's what I was saying.
It's like if I want to talk to the manager at Walmart, like the security guy is going to totally let me.
He's not gonna attack me over it.
Yeah, even if he's a Satan worshipping Walmart manager.
Right.
What have you got against Walmart, man? All the best devil worshippers shop at Walmart.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Yeah, from the tower, a window gets thrown open, and
What the hell's going on out there?
let's see.
They see a giant ape, a giant snake.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Actually, let me check something. No, he's smarter than that. Although he can't really help it. Yeah, he's gonna. Okay, so basically, a fireball erupts in the middle of between the ape and the snake, within 20 feet. It does not hit the guards. It would basically encompass Serendial, Valdry, the staff snake, and Groot. So every one of you make a Dex save.
Wait, am I?
You're outside of.
Just
It's a
out of
20-foot
curiosity.
radius. Oh wait,
Yeah, but
that's a radius.
before-
That's not a diameter. That's a 20-foot radius. So yes, actually that would
Right.
include also Mirror and Samuel as well.
All right.
Well, am I
and
able
me?
to see someone casting a spell?
You see a window open, and that's it. And all of a sudden,
I
out of
assume
that
that
open
includes me
window,
as a
a
giant ape.
fireball bolt descends and explodes in the middle of you guys.
So I don't see anyone.
No.
Oh,
Casting anything?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Holy shit.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
A deck save.
What a
Yes.
crap save I rolled.
Aye, that's a shit save. That is.
Ah, that's a shite roll.
What was our target number?
DC 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it hit them as well?
It does
Fresh.
not.
I-
It is.
I would imagine it would.
Why wouldn't it?
I am
Yeah. Can we draw a 20-foot circle? Somewhere?
sure.
I still cast absorb elements.
Let me make sure I'm
That
on
gives
the
me resistance to
right
fire.
layer here.
I think I'm gonna use my. I'll see. I'll use my inspiration to have this damage fall.
Okay, let me draw this arrow or this circle first.
Yeah.
The problem is I can't draw it with the 20 feet, so I need to mark it first or figure it out first.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You could just put a token on there and put a
Right.
20-foot radius around it and move the token to where you want it to be.
Yep, good point. Good call. Ah, for fuck's sake. I'm just looking for it. I don't even care.
Doesn't matter what it is. Yep.
Just anything.
Well, I
Use
don't
the
want to drag
spiritual
a map on top of here. Hang on. Ah,
Use the spiritual Mac 10.
Comed's my token. Okay.
Ah, there you go. He is massive.
Ginormous.
Okay. So 20-foot radius, aura.
Centered on him. Oh yeah.
So he would place it basically right at the base of the statue or the base of the tower.
He is able to essentially hit all of us and maybe just barely miss that one guy.
So anyway, if you made, well, let me just roll damage. If you made DC 14 deck save, you take half of this. Okay, so 31 full for
Ouch.
fire, for full, 15 for half.
So did you
Yeah.
catch that, Paul? I cast absorb elements, so I have resistance to fire.
Okay, so you did you make your save?
I did not.
Okay,
I take
so you
full
take
15.
basically the half damage then.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to use that inspiration then, Paul.
To make your save?
Mine's
Okay,
gone.
cool.
I failed my save, so I take all of it.
Yeah.
So am I no longer charmed because I got whacked?
Oh, but well, let me think here. Let me not think, but reread the description because I believe there is.
I would think even if we attack him, he would still be charmed.
Still have to make a
Okay, you
concentration
do.
check,
Okay,
though.
so if you receive harm from this, so you do get to make another saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
What
There
about
we
a-
Hey,
go.
and you made it. You are no longer charmed.
All right.
my
Now I'm just
God.
hugging.
Nice.
Now I'm just hugging Sam.
Yeah. Oh, I love you, man.
Oh.
Okay,
so
let me get rid of my
soft.
flaming commit here. Okay. So that was actually someone else's turn that you can't see. So now, Serendiel, it is now your turn. You are no longer charmed.
Okay. Let's drop Samuel.
Ugh.
Let's drop it. Walk over here and beat the shit out of this guy. Well, which one cast that at me? Do I know, or did that to me? Do I have any idea?
Where you saw a fireball come from above and then blow up in the middle.
No,
of
no.
it.
But who did the
The charm.
charmed me?
Oh,
I tell
I don't remember which one it was. I'm just gonna say
Screw it. It's going down.
Just beat the
okay.
shit out
Yeah,
of
it was that guy.
22.
Yeah, 22 hits.
18 didn't hit, huh? 24 bludgeoning.
Holy crap!
18 hit.
Smash, smash!
Didn't
Okay,
the
you come
18
up
hit?
and just bam.
Destroy him.
He's not dead. He takes it, but man, he's now reeling on his feet from that.
All right. We need 19 to hit.
Really? I thought 18 hit earlier.
Nope.
18
19.
did not hit.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
he's got a roll for
Yes, so let's see. Let me just do this on both of them, actually. So wisdom save, I believe it was.
yeah,
What's the DC again?
14.
Okay, so the guy with by the snake failed. Is it the same damage each time?
I would think so, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's why we
Yeah.
always treat it.
Yeah, so he
so
takes
is-
17 radiant.
Wait, 17? I thought it was 8.
No,
If he
it's
if
half.
he failed, if,
8
did
is
he,
if
did
he
he,
fails.
Ah, okay. All right. So
yeah, he takes the full if he fails, so it's 17.
okay, yep. So that is him, and he takes. Actually, if he only had 8 hit points left after that savaging from the giant ape. So even if he makes his save, he
did.
yeah, the spirits kind of do the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark thing, and you see his face kind of melt, and as that happens,
Yeah.
his body falls to the ground, but it all then suddenly changes, and you see these kind of misshapen, nasty wings coming out of the back of him, and his
Oh,
skin's kind of reptilian in nature. You can't tell what
shit.
his face looks like because he's now melted. But he is dead,
All right.
and that
Water
was it was actually not his turn, so I will remove him from the order. The other guy is still alive and super
Did he make
pissed.
his saving throw?
And grappled.
He took I already did the damage for him.
Okay.
And he is grappled. He cannot.
Well. So wait a minute. So I still have my action.
It's not your turn.
You do.
Yeah, it was. You just went by me.
I did.
Wasn't?
No,
oh,
you didn't.
You're right.
You're
You're right.
last.
You're right.
You're
you're
last
right.
in the
Yep.
order.
Sorry. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, this was in reaction. It was the start of their turn because
right,
they were
right,
in your
right,
aura.
yep.
Yeah.
He is grappled, so he is going to do another fire ray on the snake, grappling him. Actually, let me think here. Yeah, that's what he will do. 20 to hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The snake takes 14 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Yeah. No, actually, I already said he did it. So he's already taken his action, so too bad. And he probably wouldn't do that anyway. So it's Mirror's turn.
All right, I'm gonna change my mark to that guy, saying my other's foe is dead. Correct?
As far as you know, his face has definitely melted off,
Right.
and he's not moving too much.
He's fine.
He's twitching a little
Okay.
bit, but he's as far as you know, he's dead.
Okay.
Ding!
Don't like this guy.
And oh, by the way, the other guy, as his form changed, his armor, the scale mail armor, kind of vanishes, and you see that he actually has like natural scales,
Natural armor.
like
okay.
he's
Yeah,
got
I
an
missed
actual
again.
hard hide.
I missed again.
So yes, that also misses.
Yep.
Okay. That's Mirror. Samuel's up.
Okay. Oh. I'm going to. Is he still grappled?
Yeah.
Yes, the guard is.
Okay. If I look up for like the window on the tower, can I see anyone?
The window is open. You see nobody standing in the window. There are actually 3 stories to the tower, and at about this point, the second and third stories both have windows. The second story is open.
Okay. Is this a door right here?
Yes, it is. It is currently closed.
Okay. I'm gonna move over by the door.
Okay.
But I'm not going to open it. And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at the guard.
Oh.
Okay.
Anybody home?
Wisdom save.
So Wisdom save.
Which he made. I believe he takes half damage.
So, yep, he takes half damage.
Psychic 6 damage. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Then it's Groot's turn.
All right. So as my bonus action, I take, say, the command word for the staff to turn it into a normal staff. As part of, then I walk over, I pick it up, and I throw it back down again to give it full hit points. That's an action.
That's
So
save
bonus action
scumming,
is-
man.
But he's not grappled
That's
anymore,
still
correct?
That's fine. I don't care.
Right?
Yeah, he would no longer be
Yeah,
grappled.
but then the snake gets to attack.
Yes.
Right.
It does get to attack then.
Can grapple him again.
So hang on, let me. So I reset his hit points.
Save
and then,
scumming.
let's see.
Save scumming. Nope.
Yeah, well, I missed though.
Yep. He dodges out of the way.
And that's my action and my bonus action. So I am done.
All right, Valdry's up.
Let's see here. What I hit this guy with. What the heck? We'll try. We'll hit him with a little Toll the Dead again.
Ring his bell.
Ring his belly, 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 belly,
You
belly.
should get that to roll with the damage.
Yeah, I typed it in manually, so I obviously didn't set it up right.
A wisdom save, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
16, so he made it.
So he takes 2d8
Takes nothing.
Or
It
takes
takes
nothing?
nothing. It's a cantrip.
Yep.
It's 2d8 if he hasn't
Oh,
taken
that's right,
damage.
that's
2d12
right.
if he has. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. Stay right where I'm at.
Okay. Kaboom! Another Comed fireball goes off.
Shit.
Douche.
Douche. Douche.
There we go. I made it that time. That's the sound it makes.
He
Douche.
positions it. Let's see. Where would he put it? Probably right there.
I'm gonna do another absorb element.
Okay. So another dex save.
Ow!
Same DC as before.
Oh, what's the save DC?
14.
14.
Yay!
Yeah, finally. Holy shit.
So 35 if you failed, 17 if you made it.
Oof.
Or 1/4 if you have resistance.
Yeah, if you make your save and you have resistance.
That'd be
Oh, it's fire, right? Not
Yes,
necrotic.
it is
or
fire.
not radiant. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
I'm just going to put
Down,
him
man.
over here and hide him because I might need him again. So yeah, that was that happening. That was a thing. Soren deals up.
All right, I go over to the door and try to smash it down.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check. Oh, you're just going to do
Oh,
attack
it's an
rolls.
athletics
Okay,
check.
that'll work too.
I'll take the initiative that you gave me on the last one.
How many attacks do you
Not
get?
initiative, inspiration. You mean?
2 attacks, 2 fists.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the inspiration.
Okay. So crit,
So-
then you basically get double damage on the next one. All right, so
So,
let's
39.
see.
53 points of damage to the door.
Let me look up.
Probably. That should hurt it a little.
Yep. And I unfortunately did not have the door statted, so let me try and look that up quickly.
Actually, what would the armor class be on a door? Wouldn't it be like 10?
Yeah, I'm not looking up the armor class. I'm looking at how many hit points it has.
No. I'm just asking. 'Cause,
I'm like AC 10.
yeah, so I would have hit it either. Well, no, that's an automatic miss, isn't it? If you're
Yeah,
rolling.
a natural one would be a miss. You would have like tripped or something.
So I took the inspiration then because I want to.
Yeah, well,
beat
that's
the
what
shit
I
out of
thought
the
you
store.
said.
Yep.
I don't care about that. I'm just looking up the damage.
Yeah.
It's more than an average door. I'm just trying to determine the
Sure.
average first. Okay, so
Wow.
I think there's a
Everybody
chart up beyond D&D.
disappeared off of roll 20 for me.
what happened?
Oh, that's weird.
Everybody's like icon on the bottom just disappeared on
Oh,
the
yeah,
yeah.
mine too.
Yep, same
I
here.
think it's having issues.
Wow.
Yeah, even on both my GM and player screen, everyone's gone.
Yeah, there.
Can you move your
Yes, I
token?
got
Can
that.
you, oh yeah, your connection has been interrupted. Anything you
Yeah.
might
Yep,
do
yep.
might cause the universe to implode, and
I haven't gotten that, but
I'm gonna refresh.
nope,
I'm
there
not
we
going to
go.
refresh. No way. I got too much open here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think
It
that either
Worked
way,
for me.
your that amount of damage that you just did is enough. You blast open the door; it basically blows into fragments. I don't know if this is actually going to work because of roll 20, but I'm going to try and
Right.
reveal what you can see inside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even. Oh, there we go.
I see Dave
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And-
Starting
Oh.
to come back.
Yep, I see a couple people. Actually, I'm looking. I see it. The change. I just made a change on my DM screen, but I don't see the change reflected yet on the player screen. God, roll 20. Really? Can you just not do this?
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Well, anyway, but I smash it open.
Okay, what you see? There we go. Oh, just
Oh,
popped
there
in.
we go.
That's what you see. You basically see a room. There's a screen, like a hung screen,
Yep.
beyond which I'm still keeping it in. You can't see that, but
Yep.
you see a staircase leading up that basically goes around the corner. There's like, well, you'd kind of see part
Yeah.
of that, and then
All right,
there's
I'm
like
gonna-
a table.
I used the rest of my move to get out of the way a little bit.
Yeah, you'd be
That's
able to
it.
see
That's
that much.
my
Okay. Then the guard, he has to make a save against the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He fails his save, so he takes full damage, I believe, from that. It was
So 17.
17. That's right. It was 8 for half. Okay, yeah, he does not like this. He is not grappled anymore. However, backing off would draw an opportunity attack. Well, he can.
Disengage.
I'm trying to think here. Oh, that's only once per day. He no, actually, this would work. He casts command on the staff snake, and
Okay.
that would be. Let's
Good
just
luck
see.
with that.
It's a one-word command. He tells it to flee. So it's a wisdom save, DC 14. Okay. So, yeah, the snake needs to use its reaction to flee. Oh, no, it spends its turn moving away.
Yeah.
Ah, that was a pretty stupid idea then, because he's still stuck where he is then. You know what? Yeah, you would have known that. He's not that stupid. Instead, I think anything it would do, any command. I was thinking it was a reaction. Because some spells, you have to use a reaction to do it, but this one, it looks like it actually doesn't kick in until it's the creature's turn. So he's not going to do that. Sorry about that. Instead, he's going to pout in frustration. He's going to go after the staff directly with a fire ray. And AC 10, I believe, misses. So he wasted his turn anyway. Okay, that was his turn. And he is got no way without drawing an opportunity attack to get out of there. And you could just step towards him anyway. Oh, well. Yep. That's all I do. Mirror, you're up.
All right. I did some measuring before I can just like get right to there. And then I'm gonna I don't need to do a potion or anything at this point. I want to see how this turns out, but I just want to get out of a potential fireball again.
You can still shoot him though, right?
Yep, I can. I just moved 30 feet, so.
Ba-ding.
18! Damn.
Hey, 19
There we
hits.
go.
So, 17, 21?
Yep.
Guys
21.
still up.
Yep.
Damn.
Samrel.
All right. I'm going to cast. No, I'm not going to cast. I'm just going to shoot my hand crossbow at him.
At the guard.
Yeah.
not mirror.
No. I'm gonna shoot that at
19.
him
That
and then, like,
does it.
Nice.
run inside.
9
So
points.
he takes half that damage,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Because it's not
non-magical,
magical.
yep. Okay. And then you duck inside. Groot
Yep.
is up.
All right, we'll do the snake first. One hit. 17 bludgeoning, non-magical, but he is
He is
grappled.
grappled. Okay. Actually, that is enough to kill him.
Cool.
That's bludgeoning, even half bludgeoning non-magical damage from the snake is enough to kill him. He had.
Okay.
So he same deal with him. This guy, since he wasn't killed by the nasty forces, his face doesn't melt when he dies. He definitely has like some demonic features in, again, the nasty demonic wings out of his back, and his skin is kind of reddish tinged. He
Okay, so
was definitely
sorry.
appearing as something else. Both these guys were appearing as something else.
So for Groot, I want to take my bonus action to turn the staff back into snake back into a staff, grab it, and then go into there.
All right.
Yeah.
And you do know he's just gonna look down and cast fireball inside, right?
Yeah, probably.
I just thought about that. It's like, oh, dude, that is just stupid.
Voldry, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna
Drop
drop.
Concentration.
Yeah. Drop that quick.
So why do you want it? Why do you even need to drop it?
Yeah. Can't you move with it?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Well, run
Well-
upstairs. Come on.
Well. The first thing I'm gonna do is heal myself because I'm down to 16
yeah.
hit
Oh,
points.
I know. I'm down to 17 as well.
I'm gonna do a higher level cast. Wow. Roll 20. You are really sucking tonight.
Yeah, it sure is.
So I get 11 back. Okay. And then I will move up towards the door behind Mirror.
Okay.
Just screams another fireball. Get them all bunched up together.
Actually, not a fireball. Instead, an ice storm erupts. Basically, right
Chile.
where you guys are. And I
I'm
believe
allergic to ice.
it is also 20-foot radius. A rock hard. Yeah.
Do
Excuse
we
me.
still not see a person?
Let me just double check.
Oh,
This doesn't need to be
It's
outside.
upstairs.
I want to double check. This doesn't need to be outside. Spell doesn't say it has to be outside.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
No, I mean sometimes like there's a few spells involving lightning where you actually kind of need to be.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Anyway, it's a. How would this work? How would this work with the structure? I don't quite understand this because it overlaps with the structure.
I think he'd have to be like somewhere over here where he could like. Is it an area again?
Yeah.
Like fireball?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, this would be. It doesn't. So a firewall expands to fill its space. This wouldn't.
Yeah.
So if there's cover above, then so it's either inside or outside of the building.
Yeah, it's going to be inside. I would just basically say since it's a 20-foot diameter, it's a cylinder, normally 40 feet high, but I would say it would be constrained between the solid wall and ceiling, or floor and ceiling.
So it's just on the inside.
Yeah. So,
So there's
Well,
some
actually,
kind
it's-
of opening that he can shoot it.
you know
down.
what? I would say Now this doesn't really make any sense to do this. How this would work inside, because this would affect him as well. I was gonna say that it actually would, since it's magical, it would, and it doesn't need to be sourced from anywhere. It would actually essentially fill that entire cylinder, between floors as well. Screw it. He's not gonna cast that spell. That's too complicated to educate. And
Do we see anyone yet?
no, you don't see anybody.
No.
Damn.
He instead is going to cast Cone of Cold, which would be a cone 60 feet. Let me draw.
You said the ceiling's 20?
Yeah.
8?
No.
Everybody but the ape.
Yeah, everybody but the ape.
I'm outside too.
Yeah, the cone
No,
though
it goes
is
through the doorway.
the
Okay,
cone
well,
is
you shooted up
originating.
over, yeah.
Once I'm on the right token layer, the cone is originating from here.
Oh, okay.
So yes, it envelops everyone except for the ape, or everyone is affected by it.
Yay!
So make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God, that's my worst, I think. Yeah.
If you fail, you take this in cold damage.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
I'm taking my inspiration.
yeah, you better.
I'm casting another absorb elements
I'm down
and failing.
down to 0.
Okay.
I'm at 0 as well.
Okay, so anybody who dropped to 0, you are now a frozen statue.
Nice.
I will let you continue to make death saves. Well, I guess
Sure.
technically you're not killed. You're still making death saves, but yeah, you're cold as ice, as Foreigner would say.
A Samral sickle.
A Samrelsicle. Samrelsicle.
I am a Samrosicle.
Okay. Serendil, you saw a couple of your friends get turned into popsicles. Well, actually,
Okay,
technically, you didn't see that. Oh, Mirror, you would have seen Mirror in the door. She's one of the ones that.
Yeah,
I'm noticing.
Halfway at the door.
Well, right now I'm an ape. What's the top of this tower look like? Does it look flat or?
You can't see the top, but it does look flat. You don't see a peak.
Can I King Kong and start climbing this sucker?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make a climb check.
All I got is either strength or athletics because I'm an ape.
Make an athletics check.
12?
Yeah, I would say that this thing, since you're so huge, you could actually just kind of use the windows and such as like
Right.
stepping stones. So, what's your movement rate?
Climb rate is 40 feet. it
Okay,
says.
all right, yeah. So then you would basically be able to get to, let's see, yeah, I guess it would be about, I don't know, it's probably about 15 feet per story. So if you dashed, you'd be able to make it to the top.
Try to dash up to the top.
All right. So, yes, the top is indeed flat. There aren't like battlements or anything, but it's essentially kind of a mostly flat roof, just pitched enough for like the rain to fall off.
Okay.
So you King Kong your way up to the top, and that's where you are.
Okay.
Do you go, "Woo!"
When I get there.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're on top of the tower.
All right. I start looking for biplanes.
Got to summon some insects to attack him. Let's see. The guard is dead, so Mirror, you can make a death save.
Death save.
All right, one success. Samuel, you can make a death save. Oh,
Ooh,
one failure.
Ooh.
Fail.
At least you got a 2.
Groot.
Yep.
All right. I am going to cast Healing Word on our cleric.
Actually, Serendil, I'm going to put you over here just so people don't think
Second level.
in the building.
No problem.
So cleric gets 9 hit points.
Thank
So
you.
hopefully he will actually do something to heal the other people. Well, then that was a bonus action.
Yes, he will.
That's a bonus action. So then I'm going to turn into a grape ape.
Oh, 2 apes.
And then I'm going to
Nice.
climb the friggin' stairs. Grape apes, grape apes, grape apes.
And what's
grape
your
apes.
movement rate is on non-climbing movement rate?
Should be
Hang on.
40.
Oh, it's 40 climb and okay. So you would actually get to the second story. As you're climbing up, you also see that behind that screen, you can kind of see behind that screen, there is a bed there. Going up the floor, actually that's as far as you would get, so you wouldn't see the second story yet. But you would get high enough to be able to see on the other side of that screen.
Okay.
Okay, Valdry's up.
Okay. I am going to cast.
Healage?
Come on. Bam. So picking Samrel, Mirror, and myself. So it is 35 hit points between the 3 of us.
Nice.
So like 11. You guys each take 12 and I'll take 11.
All right. I feel better already.
All right.
Codical.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Yeah.
No, actually, it's down. No, he just does another fireball.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it would be Groot. Excuse me, not Groot. It's focused on Valdry.
Fuck. Of course it is.
And where did my Komed go? I lost my Komed. I guess I don't really need a Komed. It basically fills the space, so that means it goes open through the door and essentially hits everybody except for Donkey Kong on top.
Yeah.
So go ahead, make another dex save, DC
God damn it.
14. Except for Donkey Kong.
Come on, Dex. Yeah.
Guys are making it.
Come on, roll low.
Oh wait,
Damn it.
Mirror.
Down
So Mirror, you were up, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I just made half, but now I'm down again.
Okay. Samrel, you were down, correct?
No.
No, we
he
healed.
just got
He
We're
healed
just
it.
down
Okay,
again.
so you did make. Okay, so you get a save then.
Yeah.
All right. So 26 if you fail, 13 if you make it.
Yeah, so I'm down to 0 again.
So did I notice anything?
Well, you
Actually, no. But you were inside. You didn't see anything except for this flame coming through the door. It obviously exploded outside. Valdry and Mirror, you were kind of focused on healing, but I'll let you make a perception check to see if you noticed anything. I mean, you noticed the
We have
fireball,
been
but
able-
if you noticed the direction from which it came.
Mm-hmm.
Would we have been able to notice anything? Or
You just saw the flames fly in and kind of knock Mirror
Okay.
back.
18.
Yeah. Mirror, you notice, even though you're kind of busy being healed and then wounded again by a fireball, you did notice that the fireball came from almost directly above Valdry, but off to the west and south a bit. So it looks like it originated from outside the tower.
Interesting.
Somewhere in the air.
Yeah.
And actually, in
okay.
Samrel, you would have seen that plain as day. It actually seemed to be emerge from a point about 10 feet away from you, or away from, not away from you, but away from the edge of the tower
So, like-
to the south.
Like out here somewhere.
It looks like it came from right there, but at the,
Yeah.
the same level as
Right, but higher. Right.
yeah.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, I'm down, so I can't relay that information.
It's Zarandiel's turn though.
Okay, so I climb up on top, and basically I'm gonna start pounding through the ceiling. with my fist.
Okay, the ceiling is actually stone.
That's fine. I'm a big ass ape. I can pound down. 21, 22.
Okay, that's gonna take a long time to pound through solid stone.
That's all right.
Is there any opening up there, like to get onto the roof?
Not
Yeah,
that you can
that's what he
see,
said.
no. It'd be very difficult
Well, you
to
said it was
make
flat top.
a stone roof waterproof if there was a hole in it.
Right, but I just did 44 points of damage.
Okay, keep the running tally for me.
Okay.
Check. Okay, mirror is up.
All right, that's safe. -1.
Okay, so the fireball knocked you back down below, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this would be a new set of death saves, so it's your
Yep,
first failure.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Samuel. Are you at 0? Okay. So you got a
Yep,
pass.
I'm at 0.
So you traded rolls with Mirror, actually.
Right.
I'll trade you my death save for your death save. Groot is up.
Groot has
Grape
left
Ape
the
and
building.
Donkey Kong. I love this. Dynamic duo.
Yeah, he left, so
Oh,
he'd
yeah.
come back. Just switch let Valerie go next.
Okay. I didn't notice. He's still got his
Yeah, he
background
stepped
thing.
away.
up.
Yeah.
Probably getting a beer.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Voldry.
All right, so I'm entering the building. I am grabbing Mirror, dragging her inside, and getting away from the fucking door.
Okay. So you kind of
And
drag her off to the side there.
dragging her away, and then I am going to do once again. I am going to do
Same spell.
same spell, channel it. Yep. So this time, let's see. That's
If you want to drag Mirror with you, that would be your action.
oh.
If you want to come inside, you could do that, but Mirror would still be in the
Yeah,
door.
well,
All right. Yes. All right. I
Do
won't
that.
cast a spell. I will just drag Mirror in so she's not sitting out there. An
From what
easy
you can
target.
tell, if another fireball were to be cast, it would go around the door and injure, like Samuel was out around the corner, but a fireball expands to fill the space.
Yeah. Well,
Can you close the door?
I smashed it.
he
Oh, you
smashed the
smashed.
shit out of the door. So no, I can't.
Way to go, Donkey Kong.
Well, I'm taking to what I think is safe because I didn't realize where that last fireball came from. So
Well, you knew it came from somewhere outside.
Well, yeah. Well,
It blew up basically right on the top of your head.
I'd
So
just heal us. Leave me in the doorway and heal us, because
all right.
oh wait, that guy goes next, don't they?
well, technically,
Well,
I'm going back to
sorry.
Groot because he was out of the room. So
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So I will leave Mirror in the doorway, and I will still heal. So
okay.
So the
35.
same 12, 12, and 11.
Why don't you guys take 14 each, and I'll take 7.
Okay. Thank you. All
Okay.
right.
Groot,
Groot.
I skipped over you because you weren't there. So if you want to go ahead.
Yep. Sorry. What's on the second floor?
If you continue up the stairs, you see on the
I
second.
guess. Yes. Go ahead. Give me the description.
Okay, so you proceed up the stairs. You see that. Oops, wrong tool. Reveal area, not hide area. You see. Oh, come on. Roll 20. Will you stop being a bitch? No, not
Probably not.
polygon reveal. Reveal area. That's hide. You stupid fucking thing. It won't let me select a reveal. What the hell?
Yeah, it's having some trouble tonight.
Having conniption. There we go. So yes, you see what looks like a storage room filled with crates and barrels. You're coming up basically here, and the stairway.
And so I'm gonna logic this out. There's no way that anybody could have cast a fireball that hit me from up here.
The window
So I realized
is open.
I get it, but there's nobody here, right?
Right.
You see nobody moving in this room.
Right. And all I'm trying to say is that to get that fireball, there's nobody up here. There's no angle to cast the spell. I do not believe there's anybody up here, so I'm going to go back down to the first floor.
Oh, okay. As a reasoning to do that, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that is my action, because I can do nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Mirror, you get hit by a bunch of magic missiles while you're standing in the doorway.
Do I bounce back up magically, or am I prone?
No, you're
Probably
prone.
doesn't matter, does it?
No,
Okay.
magic missiles always hit you. There's no attack roll
right.
involved. 13 points of damage
worth
from a series of magic missiles. You don't need to roll. You can
13?
see them originating basically where
Right.
the fireball originated.
But
from.
that leaves you with 1 hit point.
One,
Yay!
yeah.
Way to
Yeah,
make the
one.
decision for 14.
Instead of 12.
Serendil, you're up. If you want to make since magic missiles aren't obviously as explosive as a fireball, I'll say if you want to make a perception check to see where those things were coming from approximately.
I'm just gonna keep smashing away.
Okay. Smashing away. Go ahead and
I'm
roll your
hoping
damage.
to elicit a response from this douchebag who keeps
You could have
dropping spells on us.
you could have jumped on the guy though.
Yeah, but I don't see him.
You just said you could make a perception
Just
check.
told
Oh,
you could have
okay.
perceived
all
it.
right, all right. Well, let me see if I can perceive him.
Well, right now you're pounding on the roof. So
Okay, now I'm pounding in the roof.
go ahead and roll your damage. Let's see, you got damage there. So
21 and 18, so
39 plus
39, which brings me to
70 something.
39. That'll take me to 83
Yeah, I
points.
think
of
that's right. He had
damage.
44 before, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
83.
83 points of damage. to
All
the
right,
ceiling.
so you punch a hole through the stone that's too small for you to fit through or squeeze through, but you have damaged
I
it
can
now.
look through it.
I would say that you
Yeah,
can,
now-
if you want to, next round, you could like grab it and try and essentially rip parts of it off.
Right.
Okay.
But you'd have to wait till your
Sounds
next turn.
good. Yep.
To make a hole big enough for
Sweet.
you to squeeze through. Mirror, you just got pinged by some magic missiles, but you're still on your feet.
Yeah. I am going to run this way and crawl over here.
Crawling up it.
And then I'm gonna drink a damn potion of
Drink a damn potion
Greater
of fucking shut
healing.
the fuck up.
what's greater healing again?
Greater healing, I believe it's 3d8 plus 4. Is that right?
Oh, that's old school. It's like 4d4.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yep.
Or
Sorry.
44 plus
4.
We just had this in Tim's campaign. I totally
3d8
crossed
plus
Yes.
3. I like that.
my-
That's
6
cure.
points.
That's cure critical wounds.
Yep.
6
No,
points.
cure serious. Critical is 4 or 5.
6. All right, I'm up to 7 hit points.
It's plus 4. 44 plus 4. So
Yep. So it'd be
Oh.
up to 10.
more than that.
Add 4, 10. Okay. All right, perfect.
Samuel.
All right. I am
Take that
going
off.
to cast Greater Invisibility.
Wait, are you up?
Yeah. He healed me, and then that guy cast.
Oh, he did an
Yeah.
area heal.
And then-
Okay, that was what it was.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I
Mhm.
thought it was
Mass
a.
healing word.
Okay, yeah.
Or no, it was preserve life.
So I'm invisible,
All right.
and I'm gonna like get the hell out here and look to see if I can spot where anything's coming from.
Right.
Okay, you don't see anything immediately. That
But I'm also invisible.
yeah. So you're invisible. How much movement was that?
I
Yeah.
can't like.
So I think that
I
would
guess
be
that was about.
yeah, it'd be less than your movement rate. So you could do an action if you want, like ready in action to do something.
Well, no, because I cast Greater Invisibility.
Oh, yep. Never mind. You're right. Yep. Okay, so you move to
Yeah,
there.
so-
You look around, but you
Yeah.
don't spot anything visible, and you
Yep.
don't perceive or hear anything at the moment. So Groot, you're back downstairs.
Yep. So I'm gonna grab is there like stone or wood? Or I want to grab something to throw as I walk out the door.
Okay.
And
The
then I'm gonna.
curtains were hung
I'm
by
gonna-
like rods. If you wanted something kind of javelin like. Otherwise, if-
Actually, the apes have this throw a rock. So if it's like a piece of furniture or part of the door, I'd throw something. And then what I want to do is I want to block the door so that nothing. I'm going to stick my ass in the door jamb
okay.
so that if something happens, it won't go in.
All right, there is a
That's
little
my goal.
nightstand next to the bed, so if you want to grab that, that would certainly be
I'll grab that.
like the size of a
Sure.
small boulder or rock, big rock.
Sure.
Okay, so you got a nightstand, so you're just basically kind of holding it ready to toss.
Yep. And so then I guess I'll ready my action to throw something if I see something.
Okay, so if you see like an obvious origin of a spell or something like that.
Yes. I'll give it a shot. Yep.
Okay. Baldry is up.
Okay. I'm going to run over and jump into bed next to Mirror.
Ooh.
Hey.
Let's,
Hey,
let's
Roll
move on.
over.
and get-
I'm crowded.
and give her the
The magical
Finger?
love
magic
bone.
cure
Oh.
magic cure wounds for
Actually, that would be the divine love bone in your case.
yeah, that's right,
Rub
for
my
8
love bump.
for 8 healing.
8.
8 heat, yeah, 8 hit points.
All right.
Let's
Thank
see.
ya.
Bow chicka bow bow.
You have good
Hey.
hands.
Hey, come here often.
All right. Samrel, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Perfect.
Groot, I'm not going to ask you because you're not close enough.
Okay.
Okay. You sense nothing, Samrel. Serendil, you are standing above a hole that's about a human could fit through, but you cannot.
Tim?
Sorry, I missed that.
You
What
are
was that?
standing on the roof above a hole you created by punching
Yes.
through the stone.
I'm ripping the sucker
Okay.
right out.
All right, so if you want to use your action, you can basically use your tremendous Donkey Kong strength to just rip chunks of the stone out enough to make it large enough that you could fit through.
Throw him at Mario.
Can I see down in there?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You see another chamber in the top floor, which, if Roll20 lets me show it to you, I will do so. Hey, look at that. First try. You see a chamber that
Oh,
has
great,
an
a
inverted
ritual
pentagram in it. There aren't actually lit candles there,
Mm.
I don't see anyone in there though.
but
I'm
you
assuming.
see no people,
Okay.
and the room is dark except for the
Alrighty.
light you're now letting in through the No.
Can I use my action to drop down in there?
You could just use the rest of
my
your
move-
movement. Your action was kind of ripping
Yeah.
the stone out, so you could use your movement to
Sorry,
drop
I
down.
meant my movement.
Sure.
I'll just drop down in there.
Okay. Mirror.
Shit on it.
Do you drop into the pentagram? Just out of curiosity.
I'll drop. Well, I'm gonna break the circle no matter what.
Yeah, pretty
'cause I'm
much.
this
It's
big.
okay. All right, so you do breach the circle. Waterdeep falls into the sea. Silvering moon explodes, and no, nothing immediately obvious happens. Mirror, it's your turn. You're in bed with Voldry.
I can't really do a whole lot. I don't have any healing spells.
That's what Voldry said. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna see. I see the grape ape's butt out here, or that's Groot's butt, right?
Well, you
Yeah.
don't know for sure, but yeah, you're assuming so.
Right. Yeah. So I am going to move there and just ready in action if I see an adversary to shoot my bow.
What a fart.
I was gonna say, what counts as an adversary? Yeah, then Samuel's up.
Yeah.
You you don't see anything. You don't hear anything besides well, even Serendial, Donkey Kong, he dropped. You saw him drop through the roof.
Wait. Should have looked through this desk or something.
I'm gonna ready an action to cast Dissonant Whispers if I see anyone. I think.
Okay.
Feel somebody bumps into you.
Groot?
Yeah, or if I. Yeah.
I'm gonna at least wait another round. It's only been 6 seconds, so I'm gonna throw it at something. If something casts a spell or whatever, I'm gonna wait there, and
Okay.
if somebody slaps my ass, I'll move.
And Voldry.
I'm gonna go up the stairs to the second level.
There you go.
Okay. That would be a dash, and
Yeah.
you can get up there and see pretty much what Groot saw. It looks like a storage room between floors that has crates and barrels, and another stairway,
Yeah.
circular
My
stairway.
next move, I'm gonna go peek out the window and see. Yeah. So we'll do that for now.
Okay. How long do you guys want to maintain this pattern? Because honestly, the guy is scarpered, so
Okay.
if you wait tensely for, I'm assuming another few rounds or like a minute or so.
Right.
Eventually, Voldry's spell goes out, and
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. I don't know if you plan to come down. You don't really find anything up there besides those candles and that pentagram. So.
Well, what I was going to do is pick up some rubble and then go to the window, and if I saw a dude, throw the rock at him. But after a minute or so, he's probably not going to be there. And how long does polymorph last?
An hour.
Oh, well, then I would probably wait until somebody came up and said, shit's clear, or I'd start heading down the stairs and help Valdery smash open stuff.
Yeah, we need to. I think one of you guys should stay as an ape and smash open this door down here.
Well, I was going to say it depends. I mean, if that lasts for an hour, that's one thing. If Voldry's any like normal combat duration spells would have expired, but
Right.
if you have an hour-long thing, I'm not going to let that. Basically, I would say if you want to say we can pick up at the start of next session with you having like 50 minutes left on your polymorphs.
Sure. That sounds
Sure,
good.
why don't we say that?
Okay, so
Sure.
let's leave them on the map for now. I guess kind of position yourselves where you would roughly want to be when we resume next time. But I think that's a natural stopping point. So whoever was there attacking you guys with spells, he's now gone. But chances are pretty good that he's not too
He'll
happy.
come back.
Yeah.
And he may return
Or-
later. Who knows?
Or too far, right?
But
We're
wow,
friends.
that that's
Are
like the
we,
first time you guys have actually dropped during a combat in a long time.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
that's not true. I dropped during the dragon.
true.
Yeah, I
That's yeah. I guess the dragon was pretty tough too.
I drop a lot.
It's
Yeah,
fun to
you-
drop. But no, good session. Oh man, that was actually tougher. Those guys are a little bit tougher than I thought they would be.
Those guys were tough.
They're
Are
mean,
we assuming that we
nine-
got through any rounds? Like, could I have cast spells a couple times or no?
if you wanted to, sure. If you want to get yourself in,
Because I just want to heal myself like twice.
sure, yeah. If you would have been able to cast a couple healings while you're waiting to get yourself up to that point of hit points, so that we can start next session. Not
Yeah,
exactly
it's not
completely it's not like short rest length, because that would
Right.
then the polymorphs would end. But if you want to cast any healing spells on you beforehand. Okay, cool. Well,
Okay.
we will pick up next time. We'll just have you be where you are and see what else you might find in the vicinity.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
guys.
Jennifer.
I'll catch you later.
Thank you.